Welcome to my YouTube channel. Please don't forget to subscribe for more interesting audiobooks. Thank you. Protecting My Human Mate Chapter 1. Xavier. Today is the D-Day. Today is the day that I will be officially crowned as the Alpha of the Crystal Blue Pack. From today my life was going to change and take a new turn. From today, I will in charge of over 1,000 werewolves. The thought alone scares me, but I was born ready. Even born as the future alpha means you have to grow quite earlier than your age mates. As young as the age of 3, I started learning karate. By the age of 6, I was a black belt, and by 10, I had a golden belt, making me a karate grandmaster. I had to follow my dad to different meetings to get acquainted with the alpha duties. By the time I became a teenager, my training became harder. At the age of 16 I was already going along with the pack warriors for wars. And when my mates were going for night party, I was studying. As soon as school vacates, I enroll at the Alpha's Royal Academy, a school where future alphas like me were being taught on what to expect when we come the alpha. After all this training, the time to bear fruit has come. Today I am not only going to be crowned alpha, but I get to appoint my officials as well. That's the rule. Once an alpha sets down, his officials 2 steps down with him, except in the chase whereby the alpha was impeached. A knock at the door brought me out of my thoughts. "You can come in," I said to the person at the door. A maid made her way into the room holding a very large package. "Good morning, young alpha. Your dad asked me to deliver this to you," she said. "Point at the package." "Sure, you can drop it on the bed." She did as I told her and left. I walked to the bed and opened the package. Inside was the alpha ceremonial custom. A red tunic embroidered with gold and a black trousers with gold stripe at both sides of the trousers. I took the clothes and wore it together with black socks and a black covered shoe. I stood up to look at myself at the mirror. I must confess I actually look good. "You look very handsome, my son." I turned back and saw my dad standing at the door with the royal mantle wrapped around his hands. "Father, I didn't notice that you were standing there," I said as I walk up to him and embrace him, and he dropped a peck on my cheek in return. "I can see you were preoccupied. Oh, how I wish your mom was here to witness this day," Dad said as he started becoming emotional. Mom had died 2 years ago after being fed too much poison. A group of rogues had attacked her and the wives of the pack leaders when they were on their way for a conference. Before we could rescue them, it was already too late. After of all of them that were attacked, it was only the Gemma, Alfred's wife, and a warrior that survived. It was indeed a moment of grief for the whole pack to lose their Luna, the female beta, and other pack members on the same day. Dad was so devastated when he heard the news. He wanted to end his life too, so that he can be with her in the afterlife. But at the end he didn't, because he had a whole pack who depend on him and he can't disappoint them. Turns that it was Dad's uncle, who was banished from the pack a long time ago, that masterminded the attack and went after him with rage. By the time Dad was done with him, he was begging for Dad to bestow him. "It's okay, Dad. I'm sure she watching from wherever she is." "Okay, so cheer up. Today is a happy day. We don't want to get emotional, do we? Full stop," I told my dad as I tried to console him. "Talking about mom is still a sensitive topic for Dad." "Yeep, that's true. I'm sorry for getting very emotional," Dad said as he wiped his face and then continued. "Turn around." I did as he asked, and he placed the royal mantle on me. The royal mantle is a long ceremonial garment that royalties wear on the day of their coronation or other special ceremonies. "Mr. Alpha Man," a voice shouted as Jason, my best friend and soon-to-be beta, rushed into the room. He was also dressed in a tunic just like me, but his was blue in color. "Dude, how do you?" he started saying, and then pushed. "Alpha sir, sorry I didn't notice you were in the room," Jason said as soon as he noticed my dad standing next to me. "It's fine, Jason. How are you doing? I better leave you kids and go get dressed too. See you at the ceremony," my dad said as he pat my shoulders and went out of the room. "Dude, look at you. You are looking so great. You are going to give the unmated ladies in this pack a heart attack." Full stop, Jason said as he kept going around me like a general inspecting his men. "I understand that you are part of the warriors, but you need stop cycling me or what?" He cut me off, looking at me with a smirk. "Or I will beat the hell out of you," I said as I made my way to him and gave him a playful punch. Jason and I have been friends since we were babies. Our parents were already best friends and always hanged out together. So it's not as if we had any choice. We were struck together. Although even if I was given a choice, I will always choose him. He said as a great friend and always have my back. When we lost our mothers on the same day, we grieved together. All right, Mr. Alpha, I give up, Jason said as he bowed. But serious, how do you feel? You are about to take control of the pack. I'm actually a little nervous, but I can handle it. I have trained so much for this moment. I answered him with a small smile. All right, the ceremony is about to start. It wouldn't be good if you come late to your own coronation. Let's get going, Jason said as she stood up and started making his way to the door. I rolled my eyes at him. You keep referring to it as my coronation only as if you aren't going to get crowned today too. Whatever, he said as we both made our way out of the room. The ceremony was to take place at the pack assembly ground that was beside the pack's conference hall. Important announcement that needed the attention of the Ether Pack was done there because the conference hall can't accommodate the Ether Pack members. I was seated on the stage at the right-hand side of my father while his Jason dad is Beta sat at his left-hand side and Jason was sitting beside his dad. My dad stood up and addressed the crowd. Greetings to you all members of Crystal Blue Pack. Greetings to you too, Alpha, the crowned echoes. There were so much people present. Almost everyone in the pack, if not all, were present. As you all know that we have gathered today to witness my son Xavier get sworn in as the new Alpha. My dad beckoned at me to overgo and I stood up and went and stood before him. Xavier here, my dad said as he lifted my right hand up and then continued. He has proven himself worthy to become the Alpha. He passed the test set by the Council of Elders. The Council of Elders said my moon goddess have to assess and test you before they declare you worthy to be an Alpha. Anybody who went against them and declare themselves Alpha will be denounced and punished as well. If anybody has a valid reason why Xavier should not be sworn in Alpha, he or she should step forward or forever remain silent. My dad continued and everywhere went silent. Nobody stepped forward. I released the breath I didn't know I was holding. Even if anyone should have stepped forward, whether his accusations were true or false, the ceremony will be paused. It actually brings a lot of complications. I remember when one of my friends, Roman, Alpha of the Luna Pack, was accused on the day of his coronation. The ceremony was paused and before the investigation finished. It was a year later. Seeing as nobody was going to talk, my dad went on with the coronation. He beckoned on me to repeat at him. I, Xavier Gray, promise to be a good Alpha to this pack. Promise to always put the goodwill of the pack before anything else. Promise to treat each pack member fairing. May the moon goddess help and guide me. I repeated each line after my dad. After which my dad took the ceremonial knife and pierced the center of his palms and he did these me with mine and then joined our hands together tightly. Immediately he did that, I felt strong power rushed into me. Indeed, I have officially become the Alpha. My dad raised our hands still joined together and shouted to the people, "Behold your new Alpha." And the people became clapping their hands shouting, "Long live the Alpha. May the moon goddess be with you. Congratulations, son. I'm proud of you and I'm sure your mother will be too," my dad whispered into my ears as he hugged me. After hours of different speeches and presentations, it was time for me to choose my Beta and Gamma. By the power bestowed in me as the Alpha of this pack, I swore you Jason Drill as the Beta of this pack, I said as the crowd kept on clapping, and I announced the Gamma in the same manner. Soon the ceremony was over but people stayed back to socialize with one another. My dad left immediately saying something about having a meet to attend. A lot the pack members brought gifts to me. I was really touched at their love, which I'm grateful for, because it's another entirely to be an Alpha to people who hates you. Well, guess who finally became an Alpha man? I turned around and saw my friends I made from Alpha Academy. Those that were made it even came along with their mates. Congratulations to you, bro, or shall I say Mr. Alpha? Simon, one of the Alpha, said. Call me whatever you wish, Simon, I don't care. Anyway, I want to thank you all for honoring my invitation. It means a lot to me, guys. It was no big deal. We were not going to miss it for anything in the world. Right, guys? Full stop. Matthew stated, and the rest nodded in accordance with what he said. Chapter 2. Alpha. I turned around and saw a cute little girl holding a flower running towards me. The guards tried to stop her from getting closer. I signaled for them to allow her, and the girl increased her speed. I guess she did that so as to reach me before the guards changed their minds about allowing her to come to me. "Good morning, Alpha. I got this for you," she said as she raised the flowers up for me to collect. I squat down so that I can be of the same height as her. Well, close in height, because I was still taller than her. I mean, I'm 6 feet 2 feet tall, so it's understandable. "Thank you, pretty." I collected the flower and gave her a peck on her cheeks, and she started blushing very hard. Girls would always be girls, I thought. "What you name?" "My name is Claire," she replied while still blushing. "What a beautiful name for a beauty girl," I said, making her to blush harder than she was already. "Claire, Claire." I looked up to see a woman shouting as she makes her way to us. That's should her mother. "I'm sorry, Alpha. I told her not to bother you," Claire mother said as she bows her head in submission. "It's okay. You have a beautiful daughter," I said as I stood up. Claire mother took her and left. She waved at me and I waved back too. "Wow, you wouldn't only make a good Alpha but also a good dad too." Jason, who was standing close by, "And so all your exchange," said. "What I can say. Am a man of charm and many talents," I said proudly. "Have anyone ever told you that you are so full of yourself?" Jason said. "No," I replied, him stressing the word to make him annoyed. "Well, you are," Jason stated as he rolled his eyes. "You know, both of you look like a couple who are going all love-a-dove on each other." Matthew, one of my Alpha friends, stated. "Ooh, a couple? With this idiot here? Not possible," I stated as I pointed at Jason while making a disgusting face. Jason then hugged me tightly and shouted, "Why are denying me? After all the love we have confessed to each other." "My love, why? You are stupid," I said to him as I untied him hands from my body and moved away to avoid his madness. Other people who had witnessed our display were laughing. "Me, Alpha." A guard bowed as he greeted me. "Yes. How may I be of help to you?" Full stop. I questioned him. "Your father wished to see you." "All right. I will be right there," I told the guard, who bowed again and went on his way. "Guys, my father sent for. Do you guys mind if we go there before heading for the party?" I asked my Alpha friends. I don't want to pressure them into doing something they don't like. After all, they are mine guest. I don't know about the rest, but it's fine with me, Asher Alpha of the Illuna Pack answered. "It's fine with us too, right guys?" Xander Alpha of Dark Eclipse Pack answered, and the rest nodded their head in accordance. I signaled one of the guards to get the cars ready. As werewolves, we hardly use our cars because we love to walk, but the assembly hall was at the beginning of the pack, and our house is at the every end, so I didn't to make my guest walk all the way. It wouldn't say good about me. "Time to go, guys," I said as we made a way to the car pack. Most the Alpha came with their car. Those they were not with theirs enter the ones my guard arranged. I rode together with Jason and my Gamma in the Rolls Royce. "Wow, dude, your house, it's amazing," Matthew stated as he kept on looking around with his eyes wide open. I actually agreed with him. A lot of people have that kind of expression when they visit the house for the first time. The truth is, as no fingers are equal, so also some pack are richer than the others. And ours is one of the richest packs, ranking among the top 10. Dad didn't waste any expenses when building the Alpha Cave, as he named the house. The house, which is 3-story high, was painted white and royal blue, which is our pack's significant colors. The furniture was made on royal blue, white and gold. Yeep, as in real gold, not golden color. All the windows were huge and made of glass. The walls, the doors and windows are all bulletproof. At the center of the house is a big water fountain that has a wolf sculpture at its center. The wolf sculpture was actually that of Mom's. At both sides of the house were 2 gardens, while behind the house, it's an infinity swimming pool that made its way into the lake behind it. Unlike other packs, which all the members stay together in a pack house, everyone has their own house to give everyone their privacy. As soon you find your mate, the pack gifts you a house. "Thanks, man," I replied Matthew as I led them towards the double-door entrance. I led them to the visitors' lounge and asked the maids to serve them some refreshments. "Wow, your house interior is out of the world, Ace mate Janet said. Trust women to always compliment the interior." "Thank you. My mom designed it," I replied. My mom was actually an interior designer by profession. She did most of the pack's designs, which are very unique. She is basically one of the reasons why our packs have one of the best designs. The head won an award for the best interior designer for 3 good years. With her interior designer knowledge and my dad architectural knowledge, they were able to turn the pack into what it is today. That's one of the reasons why the pack members loved my parents, because they have given them a reason to boast about to other packs. When my mom died, the whole pack were in deep sorrow. A lot people, especially the women, went into depression. Thanks the goddess everything is okay now. I will just go and look for my dad. I will be right back. Feel free to be at home, I said to my friends as I made my way to the double stairs heading to my father's room. Father, good afternoon. You requested to see me. Yes, son. Why are you not ready for the party? Party? What party? I asked my father, trying to recall if there was actually a party I am supposed to attend. Chapter 3. What do you mean, what party? My father asked, quite shocked. And that made me to rethink again. I honest can't remember being informed of any party at all. You can't be serious, my father continued when he saw my clueless face, since you have a brain of a 90-year-old man. The party was organized by the pack members at the Crystal Event Center in order to celebrate your successful coronation. Oh, that party. I didn't. It was actually going to held. Jason had earlier told me about it, but he made it sound as it was a random party which he wanted to clash. Yes, that party. You have to present or the pack members would think you didn't appreciate them. I would love to go, but I'm too old to be going to that kind of party, my father said. Noted, sir. Full stop. I saluted at him and turned to make my way out. One more thing, Dad said as I turned to look at him, then he continued. Please remember that you are no more the alpha son but the alpha himself, and try and socialize and interact with the pack members. Sure, Dad. I promise I will. Dad knows me quite well. Anytime we attend a party, I will look for a quiet place and sit. I always hated noisy places and so I avoid them. I made my way downstairs into the visitors' lounge and say my friends gisting. I thought you have forsaken us, Ace said as soon he saw me. I'm sorry guys, I had stuff to discuss with my dad. Turns out that the pack members are throwing me a party by 7 in the evening at the Crystal Event Center. You are all invited. I apologized to them, feeling kind of guilty that I left them. After all, they are my guest and came here specifically for me. Wow, I can't believe I'm alive to see Xavier invite us to a party, Ace shouted. What's that supposed to mean? I stated. It means that anti-party like you is inviting people for a party, Asher said, and the rest started laughing. I rolled my eyes at them. They are actually saying the truth. Back then at Alpha Academy, they all used to sneak out of the school to attend parties except for me. No matter how much they tried to convince me to follow them, but I already made up in mind. I usually stay awake so that I can open the door for them when they are back. Well, it's not as if I'm hosting the party. My pack members are hosting it on my behalf. I defended myself. Whatever makes you sleep at night. Matthew winked at me, and the rest laughed. It was already past 6 in the evening, so Jason and I decided to head out. I was putting on a black jeans trousers, a black turtleneck stretchers, a black jacket on top and black combat boots. Jason was also wearing something similar to mine, except his was a dark blue jeans trousers and a black shirt instead of a turtleneck. It took us 25 minutes to reach the venue, and that's actually fast because it normally takes about 30 to 45 minutes by car and an hour and 30 minutes by foot. Well, for werewolves or other supernatural, it will take a human at least 2 hours. We were able to reach fast because we were using one of Dad's latest collection of Lamborghini. Dad loves cars. As soon as latest collections is out, he purchases it. Be it a Lamborghini, a Rolls-Royce, BMW, G-Wagon, or any car that makes sense. We can actually spend a year without reusing the same car. Although we werewolves rarely used cars, we often prefer to walk by our legs. But let's be realistic, there were some journeys that you need a means of transportation to reach your destination. Well, except you are a god or a magician. Every end of year, Dad organizes a car race for the entire pack. All participants get to go from with a car, but the winner also gets cash prizes. This is yet another reason why the pack members lived my dad. He was a cool alpha. I hope to be as good as him, if not better. Jason, my gamma, and I made our way toward the entrance where there is a big billboard with "Welcome to the Crystal Event Center" written on it. The Crystal Event Center is one out of the many business owned by my pack. The building is located immediately outside the pack. At first, it was supposed to be built within the pack, but after much consideration it was built outside. We actually did that so that other packs or humans can rent the event center and use it without disturbing the peace of any of the pack members. Mr. Alpha, I looked up and saw a group of girls that looks like high school cheerleaders making their way to me while holding flowers. I just hope the flowers isn't for me. These girls have forgotten that I'm not a girl. What will I use a flower for? Anyway, I put on a big smile of my face waiting for them to reach me. Alpha, welcome. We got this lovely flowers for you. Thank you, beautiful ladies. I'm very much grateful. I will surely use these to decorate my room. Full stop. I said, and the girls started blushing. I signaled to one of the guards to come and take the flowers because they were too many for me to hold until the end of the party. Chapter 4. I went past through the gates and made my way to the garden section where the party is being held. Since the weather is good today, they decided to host the party outside. Welcome, Alpha. Please this way. Full stop. I was ushered to my seat. There, all my invited Alpha friends and their mates were already sitting down at the VIP section. Here comes the celebrate. Full stop. Alpha Asher shouted, obviously still making jest of me from earlier. I gave him a middle finger and greeted all of them and made my way to my seat. I sat down with Jason at my right-hand side and my Gamma at my left-hand side. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today to celebrate with our new Alpha. Before we start, we will love to make a toast to our new Alpha, so everyone hold your glasses up. The host announced from the stage and everyone held up their drinks. A toast to our new Alpha. Toast to Alpha Xavier. The host shouted. A toast to Alpha Xavier. Full stop. Everyone shouted together and then the party started proper. Hey, it's not fair. Why didn't they make a toast to me? Anyway, it's your loss. All of you. I am going to make a toast to myself. A toast to me. Full stop. Jason shouted and make the attention of the sitting nears turn to our direction. Can you please compose yourself? I whispered into his ear and the idiot just rolled his eyes at me. You behave like an old man, Xavier. Try to loss up a little bit and chill out. It won't hurt you. Jason advised me as he took a sip of his drink. Watch what you are saying, or have you forgotten who are talking to? I challenged him. Jason stood up and looked from side to side before he dropped his drink and faced me. And who am I talking to? Because I cannot see anyone, stated Jason with a clueless look on his face. This idiot is actually trying me. How about I show you? Just as I stood us to approach him, Alpha Asher quickly stood up and stand in between Jason and I. Okay guys, I don't know if you are playing or serious, but whichever one, this is not the time or venue for that. Alpha Asher reasoned with us. I look around, I saw some curious eyes looking our way already. I backed out and went and sat on my seat. The party started with different dance presentations. There were different dancing groups that made a presentation. From salsa dancers to hip-hop and belly dancing. There was also other presentations before the DJ released music for people to dance. Okay, I have actually tired. I hate parties since I was born and always tired to avoid them. If not because Dad begged me to come today, I will have made up a reason and avoid coming. But since I'm now an Alpha, it's mean this is just the being. I am entitled to attend every occasion organized by the pack or the ones I'm being invited to by other packs. I excused myself since the party was almost over. People were already getting drunk. I started taking a walk. Since it was almost midnight, the weather outside is very chill. I decided to let my wolf Asa out. It's being long since he went for a run. I quickly transformed into a wolf and started running. I didn't stop until I reached the overhanging gardens. The overhanging gardens is one of the unique features of our pack. It was inspired by the overhanging gardens of Babylon, which was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. The garden was built at the far end of eastern part of our gardens. It has a lake at the side and lot of water fountain. Flowers were hanging out from the walls of the garden. The true definition of this place is serenity. Ever since the construction of the place was over, I was come here when I want to be alone. It become my peace sanctuary. I transformed back into my human form and started walking around the gardens. After walking for some times, I stumbled on something hard and fell down. I got and check on the item that I hit, wondering what it was doing lying there. The hard object looked like a sky blue seashell. I decided to open it and check what is inside. As soon as I opened it, a light so bright that it can affect the eyesight shined from inside the shell, and I quickly closed it back. After so minutes have passed, I summoned some courage and reopened it with my eyes closed. After I successfully opened the shell, the bright light was no more. The only thing I see is a multicolor shining pearl. I took the pearl with my fingers, trying to analyze it. As soon I took it in my fingers, I started feeling unconscious, and before I realized what was happening, I fainted. Chapter 5. When I woke up, I found myself on a small island, lost and alone. I tired walking around to see if there was a way out of here, because I can't remember what brought here, but seems that I am walking in circles because I am back to the exact place I was at first. I tired my luck again by taking another route, but all was in vain. The same thing happened. I had tired a few times again, before I gave up and sat on the surface roots of a tree. It was already getting dark and I am beginning to catch cold. I am lost and deeply troubled because I don't know what to do next or what was going to happen to me. Out of nowhere, a little light shined, and when I looked up and I saw that the light is coming from a group of gathering of fireflies, stood up with the intention of going to see close to them because the place is already dark and there are the only source of light. As soon as I reached to fireflies, they hovered around me for some time before shooting off. Something in the back of my mind told me to follow them, and I gave a chase after all. I had no hope because I did not want to be left alone in the darkness. Anything could attack me. Not letting the fireflies out of my sight, I kept on follow them and came to a stop when the fireflies entered into a cave. I stopped to think over the decision whether I should enter or go back. For all I knows, it can be a trap, but my curiosity won over and I entered into the cave. I am marveled at what I saw. The cave looks like a secret garden meant for royalties. It was filled different types of rose flowers and lilies. A lot of fireflies were all over the top part of the cave, giving it an illumination. I saw a water fountain with a werewolf sculpture in the center. Well, he guessed the cave belongs to a werewolf pack then. Although the wolf in the middle looks like the status of Serena, the moon goddess. I walked towards the fountain, and it was at that moment that I saw it. Behind the fountain, laid in the center of 4 olive trees, is something that looks like a coffin made out of glass. I made my way to the coffin and tried to open it, but it seems as if it is locked. I actually wanted to turn back and leave, but some unknown force keeps stopping me. I look at the coffin and searched the lock. The only thing I saw close to a lock is a small carved opening. I look around to see if I can find something to fit in there. Then I remember the pearl in my pocket. I took out the pearl with my fingers crossed. I inserted into the carved opening. The coffin immediately opened up. I peeked in to have a better look at the girl. My body reeled with surprise at what I saw and I almost lost my balance. After several seconds, I regained my bearings and looked at her again. She is the most beautiful lady I had ever since. Even while she lay dead, she still looked breathtaking. Her dead skin surprisingly glow with a youthful glow and freshness. Her hair is chocolate and reddish in color. That is something I have never seen before. How did she end up here? I wondered. There are 2 things involved. She must either be a person of importance who died and is buried here, or she must have been cast by a spell. Whichever is, I feel bad that she died at such a young age. What a waste of beauty. I could not help but give in to the temptation to touch her. I placed my hand on her cheek and was shocked of how cold her body was. Just for how long has she been lying down here? While still looking at her, I didn't know what possessed me, but I felt something compelling me to draw close to her. I could not hold it any longer and bend lower and drop a peck on her dry lips. And immediately I did that. Her eyes were opened. It was purely silver in color. Blazing silver that looks as if it can command thunder and lightning. Letting out a shout, I pushed myself away from the lady, still in shock at what might have just happened. After composing myself, I looked up, and to my greatest surprise, I couldn't see the lady again. I went around the cave, but I could not see her. Not even a trace of her. I am alone in the cave, and he became to wonder if what had happened is my imagination. I startled awake with a start, leaping from my bed. The dream had been so real to me that it had shaken me to my core. In my mind's eye, The image of the lady's face remained. Xavier. Jason's anxious voice could be heard from the other side of the room. When his friend realized he was awake, he tossed the book to the side and dashed over to him. "How are you doing?" he said, concerned. "What kind of question is this? Is something wrong with before?" I frown at why he looks so worried. Come to think of it, how did I end up in here? I can't recall coming back to my room yesterday. You passed out for no apparent reason and terrified the life daylights out of me. Really? Full stop. I asked, puzzled. Like seriously, did you know how I felt? You were gone for long, so I decided to go after you. I came and found you lying flat of the ground in the garden. I can't remember the last time I felt so much fear like this. I thought you were attacked or something. But then I felt your pulse still beating. So I called the gamma to help me pick you up. Jason terrifically explained. Thanks. What did you tell the guests? Full stop. I asked him. It won't say good of me that I just disappeared in the middle of a party organized by me. You don't have to worry about that. We apologize on your behalf and told them that you were summoned for something important. Jason explained, and I left out a sigh of relief. That's bro. I owe you one. I bro shake Jason. I am happy to know that I have someone like him who will always have my back. You bet you do. By the way, what happened out there with you yesterday? Jason curiously asked. I don't know. I honestly answered. I am not lying. I couldn't figure out the cause behind my loss of consciousness and what led me to having that mysterious dream. Who was the girl? Of all the things in the world, why did I dream of her? Maybe is the stress of yesterday. I mean, 'twas indeed a busy day and you normally hates crowd. Jason stated. Maybe. I answered with my mind filled with the thoughts of the unknown girl. Chapter 6. A week have already passed and I have forgotten all about the dream and the mysterious girl already. It has also been a week since I became the alpha of this pack. It is very stressful, but I like every moment of it. I knocked on the door to my father's office. Come in. Full stop. My father shouted from inside. Good afternoon, father. Full stop. I greeted with a little bow. Even though I am now the alpha, my father still has his strong alpha spirit, and so I have to give the respect of one. Afternoon, son. How is life treating you as the alpha? Full stop. My dad asked. It's fine, father. I was told that you wanted to see me. I asked him. Oh yes, the counselor of elders demands your presence immediately. My dad announced. Okay, father. I will be on my way right away. I bided goodbye to my father and left his office. I wonder what those elders want this hot afternoon. The council of elders are in charge of the werewolves' activities. They don't have a pack of their own, but instead they live the forest of trees. They settle disputes among packs and other stuffs. As good and important as they are sometimes a headache. I nearly fought with one last week. He kept on questioning why I don't have a mate yet, as if I am the one to mold the mate for myself. I went out of the building and found a car waiting for me already. After a 3-hour journey, we finally arrived. I am escorted into the meeting hall. I saw other alpha friends of mine seating already. I guess it's a general problem then. 30 minutes later, everyone is already present in the hall. The elders conversed with one another in the front. Their faces wore a same dark, anxious expressions. Exactly how bad was the situation that they had to gather everybody in the same place? The elders exchanged a few more words before nodding their heads in unison. Their discussion ended and leader Luca, the leader of the elders, stepped forward to address everyone. The reason that he called everyone here today is because there are sightings of unusual activity down at the Forbidden Lake. His eyes roamed across the stilled hall as he spoke gravely. The cloud of fog has dissipated and the evil island of the goddess Amira has reappeared. The news caused a stir amongst everyone, their faces portraying horror. Everybody knew the story about the evil goddess island and the wicked goddess Amira that resided on it. Even I had learnt about the appalling history ever since I was a small boy. Back when he was small, the adults would often share the tale to warn people to stay away from the island. About many years ago, before the evil island and Forbidden Lake had earned their ghastly titles, the nearby lands belonged to the Selena pack, a small pack of the direct descendant of the moon goddess. They were relatively quiet people, had extraordinary healing powers, and were specialized in growing herbs and conducting research relating to treating diseases. Packs from afar would travel on long journeys to request for their aid in healing their wounded disciples. Back then, the Serena led peaceful lives, offering their help to those in need but denying those who sought their powers for their heinous means. Everything was going on good for them, until one of them went and conceived with a demon. Not just any demon but the direct descendant of the devil. The people of Serena Pax were afraid of what might become of the child and the powers the child may possess. So as soon as the child is born, they made an island for her where she is kept and grown. No one visit her except her mother and the alpha of the pack. One day, a large group of warriors from the Lucian pack came to the Serena pack to be cured after being seriously injured in a war. One of the Lucian warriors stumbled upon the island and managed to go in. It was said that the girl seduced him into freeing her. Once she was freed, the half-demon half-wolf decided to use it as an opportunity to seek revenge on her pack for locking her away since she was born. Since the girl possessed the powers of both a goddess and a demon, she single-handedly killed everyone present in the pack. From her own pack members to the warriors from the Lucian pack, nobody knew how she had managed to kill over 100 men herself. There were all sorts of rumors flying around. Some said she had super strength. Others believed she had stolen their souls and devoured them, or she had casted a poisonous miasma across the area to wipe out the people. After committing such great sin, the moon goddess herself appeared and sealed the girl on the island where she came from, never to be seen again and do any harm to anyone again. This is now the evil goddess Amira Island earned its name. It means the island of the princesses of evil. Ever since the incident, a thick sheen of fog hovered over the island, surrounded by rough waves and whipping winds. No one dared to cross the forbidden lake and lay a foot on the island ever again. I tightened my grip on the table. If I were to ever encounter the goddess or whatever she is, I wouldn't miss the chance to kill her. A murderer should never get away this easily. Standing at the front of the hall, Leader Luca paused briefly, waiting for the whispers to die down. When the noise finally ceased, he started speaking again. The appearance of the goddess island could only mean one thing: the sleeping goddess might have been awakened. The older man shared his suspicion. Out of everyone here, 5 will be sent to the goddess island first. You will search the entire area and locate the demoness, but do not engage her yet. Stay low and send us a signal once you have traced her whereabouts. We will then work together to defeat her. Any questions? When there was none, he nodded his head solemnly. All right. Any volunteers? Everyone shared a look, but nobody had the courage to volunteer. Clearly, this was going to be a suicide mission. There was no guarantee that the first group would make it out alive to call for backup. I raised my hand suddenly, a resolute look in my eyes. I volunteer. My declaration made the people around me gasp in surprise. I am a newly appointed alpha and hadn't been assigned any missions. To think that I wanted this to be my first official mission as an alpha. What as I fail? Clearly, one would think I am out of my mind. Chapter 7. Shortly after I have volunteered, a few others friends of mine volunteered too. Alpha Asher, Alpha Matthew, Alpha Ace and Alpha Matthew volunteered. The spots of the 5 people are completely filled up, leaving a look of satisfaction on the faces of the elders. Good then, for all of you that have volunteered, an award of bravery will await you when you return. Leader Luca declared, causing those that volunteered to go to smile and those that didn't to frown and grumble. I don't see the need of that. There is a high chance that we won't make it back alive. I am not praying for that though. Anyway, you leave immediately. We need to act fast before the goddess cause any harm. Leader Luca explained when he saw the look on our faces. So you all should go and get ready. A boat will waiting for you at dusk, the elder explained and diminished us. Well, seems like we are going on an adventure, Alpha Ace said once we left the hall. Adventure, more like a suicide mission, Alpha Matthew declared. Well, at least all of us will die together. Friendship goals, Alpha Ace screamed. We all turned to give him a crazy look as we laughed. Once I reached home, I rushed into my room and started putting all the necessary things I need into my traveling backpack. So you are among the volunteers, I turned and saw my father entering inside my room with a sober look on his face. This is the moment I wanted to avoid since I volunteered. Since Mom died, Dad has become attached to me and can't do without me being here. I know that he is definitely going to be sad about me going on the mission. Yes, I thought it was the right thing to do, I said as I zipped my bag close. It's just that, my father started saying before he took in a breath. I know, father. Even for your sake, I will come back alive. Full stop. I stated. And I am determined to come back alive because if anything is to happen to me, Dad will not be able to handle it. You better keep that promise. Full stop. Dad said. I will, sir. I saluted and went closer to him and hugged him tight. After that, Dad went out and gave me space to finish getting ready. I changed into a t-shirt and a khaki trousers with combat boots. I wore the necklace Mom gave me before she died on my neck. I believe it is a good luck charm. I am ready to go now. It almost time. So I took my bag and decided to head downstairs. Immediately I opened the door to my room. I saw Jason standing there with a frown on his face. Are you going to leave without saying goodbye to me? He asked, frowning. Don't say it like that. I clinched. Like how? He asked. Like I am not going to come back. I declared. Well, there is a high chance you won't make it back alive. Although we don't pray for that, but I am not happy that you are going without informing me. Jason said with his voice laced with hurt. Chill. You should. That I will not think of doing that. I am going down to keep my bag. I explained to him. Jason has always been like a brother to me. Actually, he is technically my brother. So there is no way I will leave without informing him. That will be me breaking the bro code. You better are, Jason said. He took the bag from me and we both went downstairs. I said my final goodbye to Dad, who is 1 minute away from crying. Jason escorted me to the forest behind the camp of the Council of Elders. The road that leads to the lake is very narrow and so we need to trek there. That won't be a problem since we werewolves always like to go for a run. It took us 2.5 hours to reach the lake. The walk was actually fun. It remains of jogging times back in the Alpha Academy. At the edge of the lake, a big boat awaited us. We all entered into the boat and relaxed. It will take us another 5 hours before we reach the island of the evil goddess. The row on the Forbidden Lake is very quiet. Since the lake is a forbidden and cursed lake, there are no living things inside of it. The lake is surprisingly very clean and clear. We could see the bottom of the lake. In fact, if your needle is to fall inside of the water, you can easily find it. What if we are suddenly attacked by a hungry sea monster? This is a forbidden lake. There's supposed to be a monster in it. Alpha Ace declared out of nowhere. Then we shall feed you to the hungry monster. I answered and the others laughed. You have no nice bone inside of you, Xavier. Alpha Ace pointed his middle finger at me. I am glad you finally notice. I nonchalantly answered. Everywhere went silent before Alpha Matthew started pouring out words of concern. I feared that the goddess have finally turned into a demon like her father. She is now an old woman with long fangs. She drinks human blood as her food. Maybe we shouldn't volunteered. Full stop. Alpha Asher buried his hands in his head, obviously regretting his decision. Don't be stupid. First of all, demons don't get old. They are forever young. And how can the goddess drink human blood when it has been sleeping all these years? Alpha Xander reasoned with them. That's quite true. I can't believe I brought Ace story. Alpha Asher threw a glare at Ace side. What is with the look? I never told you that the story is true. Alpha Ace defended himself. An hour and 40 minutes into the journey, everyone is being to yawn and before they realize it, they all fell asleep. Chapter 8. Just like every single time, I am back at the island and inside the cave, alone. Drawing in a quick breath, I ripped off an icicle from the low ceiling and trod lighting across the water fountain. When I reach the end of the cave, I stare right down at the mysterious girl trapped inside at the glass coffin. Whether she was dead or alive, I decided then that I am going to find out at all costs. I am already frustrated by the relentless dreams that kept repeating itself and didn't quite make any sense. Come on, I told her. Stop sleeping and tell me what you want. Silence lapsed thereafter. The air was so still that one could hear a pin drop. There was no sign of movement from the sleeping girl, not even a flutter of eyelashes, not even a tiny gasp of breath. An exasperated sigh escaped from his lips. I raised the broken icicle in my hands with the sharp tip pointing downwards. Wake up! And then I struck the layer of ice with his weapon. shattering the floor beneath him. His other free hand plunged right into the freezing waters, reaching for the girl. When he grabbed her hand, a burning sensation shot up his arm, spread across his chest, and a wildfire raced through his heart. The next thing he knew, a blinding light enveloped him. "Hey, Xavier!" Someone shook him, pulling his consciousness out from his dream. "We're here." His eyes opened slowly with a painful start. He sat up, disoriented, and was immediately hit by a wave of dizziness. Sweat broke out on his face and his body felt feverish. "Are you okay? You look awful," Asher commented worriedly. "Seasick? I don't know." Xavier shook his head to clear his mind, struggling to even stand up. But thankfully, Asher helped him. After thanking him for his help, Xavier took a quick glance of his surroundings, finally understanding the commotion that the others were making. The evil goddess island was just right before their eyes. Something was terribly wrong with him. Ever since he had awakened from that dream, he was feeling really ill. Sweat glistened on his forehead, his head was throbbing painfully, and his legs were growing weaker with every passing second. He was burning up from the inside out, as if he was having a fever. How was this possible? He was perfectly well a couple of hours ago. To his horror, his energy was depleting quicker than he realized. He stayed behind the others, forcing his legs to keep up with them. The morning sun bloomed on the horizon, casting its warm glow across the unusually calm sea. It was a blessing that there was light to guide them through this ominous island. What leader Luca had said was true. The harsh environmental conditions that used to prohibit people from stepping foot here had vanished mysteriously. Clearly, there was definitely something rather off about this place. After the guys disembarked from the boat, Xander was leading the way, trekking through the thick trees. The rest of them trailed after him, keeping an eye on the wilderness, looking out for any sign of the enemy. Matthew was restless and edgy. He kept jumping at every little noise, even if it was just a bird fluttering above them or a squirrel scurrying across the grass. Asher gave a sideways glance, his appraising eyes measuring the meat boy walking beside him. "Stop doing that, Matthew. Why did you even volunteer when you are such a scaredy cat? How on earth did you become an alpha?" "Shut up, Asher." Ace, the other twin, glared while defending his brother. "He's stronger than you think. Pick on him one more time and I will beat you up." Their constant squabbles were sending waves of pain to Xavier's head and he winced. "You guys," he finally snapped, "cease talking unless you want the goddess to find out that we are here." They jumped at his harsh tone and lapsed into silence. Even Xander paused in his steps, watching him with a frown. He had always known that Xavier was always indifferent to the other disciples. Most of the time, he wouldn't pay them much attention. However, his curt tone earlier was a little out of his character. "Xavier, you alright? You look terribly pale," Xander asked. "I'm fine," Xavier lied. To be honest, it was getting harder for him to breathe by the second. Strangely, he could feel a constriction in his chest and his legs weakening by the second. But he didn't want to be the burden in the group. "Let's just get going," he insisted. He took a shaky step forward, teetering past them. Seeing the state he was in, the rest of them exchanged a look and shook their heads in disapproval. "Xavier," Xander narrowed his eyes at him, looking way too serious for a usually laid-back man. An intimidating aura surrounded him and the guys were suddenly reminded of the fact that he was one of the elders. "Stay put here and watch our backs." Xavier's eyes widened in disbelief. Xander was leaving him behind. It was as good as him being kicked out from the mission. "Xander, I can do this," he protested, but was met with stern, sharp eyes instead. "I'm not playing around with you, Xavier. I'm being serious here," Xander told him firmly. "Team aware of your capabilities, since I'm the one who taught you and all. But you're clearly not in your best condition right now to fight alongside us. If we encounter any danger, trust me, y'all be the first one dead." The boy fell silent, knowing that nothing he said would convince Xander. Being as stubborn as a mule wasn't going to help him either. It might ruin his performance for his first mission. He eventually gave in. "Fine. Call me if you need any help." "Good." Xander nodded and gestured for the rest to move along. "Stay low if you spot anything. We will be right back." Xavier bit his bottom lip in discontent as he watched the four men left. He hated being treated as the weak one in the team. Yet, He couldn't seem to deny the fact that he was weak now. Just trying to sit under a tree made his legs almost give out. He felt so cold and devilish, his body trembling uncontrollably. For heaven's sake, this was the worst time to be sick. As he sat there waiting and observing his surroundings for any unusual activity, his ears picked up on some noises a distance away. Straightening his spine, he placed a hand on the hilt of his sword. He craned his neck to listen, carefully, wondering if he heard wrongly. Soon, he got his answer. A sudden flash of white streaked past him, as if running away from something. He swore under his breath, clearly taken aback that he had just encountered a living person on this godforsaken island. Getting to his feet quickly, he yelled after her, "Hey!" His voice made the runner skidded to a stop and froze, obviously caught off guard. With great reluctance, the figure turned around slowly and Xavier eventually locked eyes with a pair of dazzling blue ones with a glimpse of silver, skin white as snow, lips red as a rose and hair reddish. It was a young, captivating girl who seemed to be around his age. But it wasn't her beauty that made Xavier's breath hitch in his throat. She was the girl from his dreams, the one whom he thought was dead. Chapter 9. The mysterious girl looked more alive compared to the last time Xavier saw her. How was this possible? Wasn't the dream merely just a figment of his imagination? They stared at each other intently. Neither of them knew what to say. When he took a step towards her, the girl hesitated and frowned, shuffling between her feet nervously. From the dark look in her eyes, he knew what she was thinking about him. Untrustworthy foe. Before he could utter a word, she turned and bolted off, leaving him without a choice but to chase after her. However, he wasn't doing a good job at keeping up. Every few steps he took, his weak legs would stumble and he had to cling to the nearest tree for support. He had so many questions, but there were no answers. Why was she on this island? She couldn't be Goddess Amira herself. Could she? BT if she indeed was. His sword should have detected her malicious energy. Yet there was no sign of his weapon being triggered. Xavier forced himself to press on. As he continued his pursuit by following her tracks, his symptoms were starting to be unbearable for him. It felt like his burning lungs were being squeezed and he was suffocating. He collapsed under a nearby tree, gasping for air. There was a need to investigate the mysterious girl, but he was too weak to move any step further from his current spot. His eyes grew heavy as he struggled to remain conscious. Stay awake, Xavier. Don't fall asleep. Find the others. But before he knew it, he had lost the battle. Almost hesitant, someone nudged Xavier's shoulder once, before something brushed his icy cold fingers. Instantaneously, warmth seeped through his hand, moving up his arm and spreading across the rest of his body, driving the cold out of his system and pulling him out of the darkness. When his energy was restored, he finally regained his consciousness. His eyes fluttered open and he groaned while clutching his head, his mind in a state of confusion. He moved his hands and legs, surprised to find that the strength had returned to his body and he could move freely, almost as if he had never caught a fever in the first place. Strange. Sensing a presence near him, his head snapped to the side with one hand on the hilt of his sword. Instead of seeing anything malicious, all he saw was the girl who had run away earlier standing a few feet away from him, her innocent, doe-like eyes staring right back at him, but with a hint of caution. Xavier reeled back from surprise. Didn't she run away from him earlier? You came back, he said in disbelief. Why? She cocked her head at him, watching him with utmost curiosity, but not saying a single word. It was hard to fathom what was running through her head. Xavier questioned her further. Who are you running away from? Did you happen to see a group of men? He finally received a response. The girl nodded her head once, her wary eyes flickering back in the direction where she came from. No wonder she was scared. Seeing a bunch of men walking around while carrying their weapons must be a terrifying experience for a petite girl like her. Standing up, Xavier took a step towards her. Forgive my impertinence, but who are you? He asked suspiciously. However, he made a mistake. She retreated a few steps back, keeping a safe distance from him. Clearly frightened that he would lay a finger on her, he put up both his hands, showing that he wasn't going to do any harm to her. Sorry, I didn't mean to alarm you. The other men you saw, they are my comrades. We are just here to investigate something." He paused mid-sentence. They both heard a flurry of footsteps heading in their direction. Not long later, Xavier and the other guys appeared, slowing to a stop when they saw Therm. She tensed with fear, throwing up her guard and taking a few steps away from the group of men. They were busy observing her from head to toe, trying to figure out where she had come from. She didn't look like she would pose any danger to them. Xander whistled lightly in awe, his head darting to and from between the pair. "Xavier, you're flirting with a pretty girl while we are working hard on the mission. I didn't know you had this in you." He smirked. Xavier rolled his eyes. "Exactly whose fault is it? I ran into her while she was running away from you guys." Standing behind Xander, Asher stood rooted to the ground and gaped openly at her beauty. "Wow, she's really pretty," he blurted out without thinking. Ace elbowed him in the ribs, shooting him a stop acting like a weirdo look. "Can you close your mouth? You look like a fish." Beside them, Matthew remained quiet, but a lazy smirk twisted up the corners of his lips. His eyes raved over the girl like she was a fine specimen. "Why isn't she saying something?" he mused. "Is she mute?" Murmurs rose over his speculation, shushing the rest. Xavier turned back to the nervous girl. "We're not going to hurt you," he reassured her. "Like I mentioned earlier, we just need to verify something. Sell us. Do you belong to the Serena pack?" All pairs of eyes were fixed on her, waiting for her answer. They were greatly doubting that such a delicate girl would be the legendary evil goddess they heard about, but nonetheless, they shouldn't rule out the other possibilities. For all they knew, she could be a descendant of the Serena pack. If there were any miracle survivors from many years ago, the girl watched them with anxious eyes. After hesitating for a few seconds, she eventually gave them a short nod to confirm their suspicion. "What about Goddess Amira?" Xander inquired. "Do you know her? The female who annihilated her own pack as well as the group from the Lucian pack." The moment the girl heard the Lucian's pack name, a shadow seemed to flit across her face. Her hands balled into fists and anger flickered into her eyes. Upon seeing her reaction, Xander took the chance to continue on. "Where is she?" This was the question that everyone was dying to ask. The air was thick with anxiety. Every single pair of eyes watched her, waiting for her reply, but she said nothing, merely poked at them pointedly with raised eyebrows. The longer the silence dragged on, the clearer the answer became. Ace gasped in horror. "She's the one, isn't she?" There were a few sharp intakes of breath as realization dawned on them. The four alphas immediately went on guard, pulling out their swords and pointing it at her. Even Xavier was filled with horror and revulsion. He hadn't expected the legendary evil goddess to look like that, all meek and vulnerable. What a cruel joke that she had played on him, to think that he had wasted his time conversing with her. "Oh look," Matthew scoffed, apparently finding her absurd. "The goddess is mute." Enough said. Xander silenced them, pulling out his sword too. He spun around to eye the girl with a determined look. Even though things weren't going according to plan, he was going to continue the mission by seizing her. "Amira, you're coming back with us." Chapter 10. "Amira, you're coming back with us," Xander said. The guys held their breaths and kept their swords pointed at her, trying to anticipate what kind of stunt she would pull next. Who knew that, behind those demure eyes of hers lay deception and immorality? She took a hesitant step back, her eyes flitting between them all. Before she could turn to flee, Xavier blocked her. "Move another step and I'll bury my sword in your heart," he warned her darkly. The girl remained still, watching him with those innocent, doe-like eyes. She stared up at him with a silent plea, begging him to let her go. Was this how her past victims had fallen for her charms but ended up getting murdered instead? But Xavier wasn't one of them. He was determined not to fall for her wicked schemes. Whatever deadly powers she possessed, he was certain that she should have a weakness that they could use against her. Besides, Xander was present too. No matter how annoying the man was, Xavier admitted that his fighting ability was the best that he had ever seen. The boy had yet to see anybody being a match for the formidable Xander. "You're coming back with us to face the punishment of your sins," Xavier told her. "If you resist, we will not hesitate to kill you, even if it costs their lives." The girl immediately winced at the remembrance of her past. Her face fell and, to their astonishment, She merely gave them a small, not a clear indication that she would concede with their demands. Of her own volition, she surrendered. Throughout the longboat ride back to the mainland, the silence was so stifling that you could cut through it with a sharp-edged sword. Everybody was tense as they sat side by side, eyeing the goddess Amira with caution, who was sitting opposite them with an emotionless look on her face. Xander leaned towards Xavier. His voice dropped to a whisper. Do you see the way she's looking at you? What did you do to her? She's showing interest in you. For once, he had spoken the truth. The girl only had eyes for Xavier, observing him with curiosity throughout the entire journey. He was left utterly confused by the odd, expectant look that she was giving him, as if this was a staring contest. He stared right back at her daringly, both of them refusing to look away. The hell was she staring at him for? Was there something on his face? Unless she was aware about the dreams that he was having prior to meeting her. Was it possible to share dreams? I don't know, Xavier answered Xander honestly. Maybe it is just my fine-looking face. The young elder gaped at him in horror. That's impossible. No one is able to beat my handsome looks. Not even you. Look at this face of mine. He gestured to himself. Goddess or not, can anybody resist this? Xavier snorted, incredulous at his immature behavior. It's also a face that I would love to punch, he added, before shaking his head exasperatedly. Can you act a little more adult? Have you forgotten that we are still in the midst of our mission? Xander leaned back and folded his arms behind his head, relaxed. Well, I'm bored. Not to mention that the binding spell that I had placed on her has sealed her powers away temporarily. She pretty much can't do any harm to us right now. True, but we still don't know the full extent of her powers. Xavier pointed it out, crossing his arms with a thoughtful look. I'm surprised that she's coming along with us this easily. We need to stay alert. Perhaps she might have an ulterior motive. Agreed. Xander shifted into a more comfortable position and shut his eyes. Wake me up when we reach. Okay. When he was about to take a bite of his food, he couldn't shake away the feeling of being watched, and he glanced up. Sure enough, the goddess was staring at him intently, her eyes wavering slightly at the sight of food. Xavier could tell that she was hungry. Exactly how long had she gone by without consuming food? Frankly, he wasn't keen on the idea of offering food to a murderer, and he couldn't care less if she starved. But he needed to ensure that she was alive so that she would be severely punished. She ought to experience the pain of dying for causing harm to so many innocent people. Without a word, he tossed another lotus leaf wrapped rice in her lap, startling her. She grabbed the food and slowly unwrapped it, sniffing at it as if she hadn't seen it before. Taking him by surprise, she devoured the rice as if her life depended on it. What a weird girl. For the rest of the journey, things were edgy as everyone kept an eye on the silent goddess. By the time the group made it back to the royal camp where the council of elders resided, it was already the next morning. Without laying a hand on her back with his sword hilt, she followed his lead obediently, too obedient in fact that he was starting to harbor suspicions that she might be up to no good. Along the way, they encountered several disciples. When their eyes settled on the young girl walking alongside the group, the whispers rose, as they couldn't hide their disbelief. Is that the rumored goddess? The direct descendant of the moon goddess who has demon blood in her? How is she looking so youthful? Didn't she sleep for 20 years? Maybe she got her vitality from all the souls she devoured. You know how demons are. They depend on innocent humans' blood to make them appear young. Don't look into her eyes. She might just curse you to death. The group brought the goddess to the assembly hall, where the elders were waiting anxiously for their return. As they presented the goddess leader, Luca watched her with a serious glint in his eyes. Leave us, he ordered them. Well, take it from here. Everybody obeyed. Xander stayed back with the other elders, whereas Xavier, Asher and the Austin twins started making their exit. Something tugged on his clothes, stopping him in his tracks. Xavier glanced down at his side, noticing that the frightened girl had gripped a fistful of his clothes. Glancing wide-eyed at him, her lips quivered slightly as if she was silently pleading for him to stay with her. After he had offered her food, did she honestly think that he was easy to manipulate to do her biddings? He glowered darkly at her. I hope you rot in prison. evil goddess. And then he removed her hands from him and stalked out of the hall without so much of a glance back. Chapter 11. I hope you rot in hell, goddess. And then I removed her hands from me and stalked out of the hall without so much of a glance back. I excused myself from the council and of elders' camp and drove home. I went directly to my room exhausted from the day's activities. The sickness I was feeling earlier on has returned. I could not understand what is wrong with me at all. Xavier. Full stop. I heard the annoying voice of his beta/best friend Jason. What do you want? I grumbled. I know that any rest I was planning to take is no more possible with Jason here. My brave friend, you have made us proud. Do you know your name is now in the book of werewolves heroes? I mean, you went to the evil goddess Amira forest and came back alive. By the way, how does she look like? Is she old? Does she look like a witch or she is really young? I heard remorse from people that saw her that she looks like a teenager, but of course I didn't believe them. I came to find the truth from an eyewitness who. Jason kept on ranting on and on, increasing my headache. Jason. Full stop. I shouted and he kept quiet. Yes, he asked with an innocent look. Shut up, I exclaimed as I put my hand on my head. I don't where the headache and fever is coming from. Hey, are you okay? Jason asked concern when he saw my condition. I don't know. Full stop. I exhaustedly answered as I lay in my bed. Are you seasick? Or is it because you are tired from the journey? Jason asked. I don't know, but I think it has to do with the goddess. I confessed. What? I knew it is a bad idea for you to go there. What if she cast a spell on you or curse you? Oh my god, what if? Jason started his regular rant but shut up when he saw the look on my face. Before the whole goddess thing, the night of my coronation, I took a walk in the garden and saw a pearl on the floor and picked it up. Once I took it, I immediately fell unconscious. When I woke up, I found myself on an island alone and suddenly fireflies came and led me to a cave. Inside the cave, I saw a girl sleeping, and when I look at her she was gone, and that is when I woke up. I summarized the incident that happened that day. I deliberately skipped the part that I kiss her because I know that Jason is not going to let me be. Wow, I can't believe it. You, my friend, have a dream about a girl. So how does your dream have to do with the goddess Amira? Jason looked at me with mischief all over his face. Well, the girl I saw in the cave is the same person with the goddess. I exclaimed. Mad. I don't know if I should be happy or sad that you dreamt about the goddess. Not to worry, we should check the library. We will definitely find a book that will explain the cause and solution to all this. Jason said. Trust him, make a suggestion like this. He loves to read books about history. Get up. Full stop. Jason pulled me up. Together, we heads for the library. We have a library at the palace where we keep books about the histories of werewolves. Alpha, beta, full stop. A maid bowed to us. Yes, what do you want? I asked her. Your father seek your presence. The maid said. I turned to look at Jason. Go ahead. I will check it out myself. Jason waved at me and I followed the maid. Jason's POV. I watched Xavier walk away with the maid before I kept walking to the library. If I am not mistaken, I have read something about the situation Xavier is talking about, but it has been a long time and so I can't remember much of what I have read. I entered into the library and looked around the shelves, but I couldn't find a relevant book about it. My eyes brightened when I remember the computer at the corner of the library. I went over to it and browsed about the pearl. Many information is shown to me until I found the one talking about the Pearl of the Goddess. The Pearl of the Goddess. Book number 236. Shelf number 13. Row 1. Got it. I memorized it before I hurried up to the shelf and got the book. It's one of the books about the powers of the goddess. I took my time and read the book. Oh shit, Xavier is in deep trouble. Full stop. I exclaimed when I read the book. I quickly picked the book and rushed to Xavier's room. I meet him laying down of his bed. Xavier, you might want to get up for this. Full stop. I shouted. Chapter 12. Xavier's POV. I went and found my dad in his office. He congratulated me for my successful mission. I didn't spend a lot of time with him because I was seriously feeling under the weather. I excused myself from his presence and went back to my room. I just pray that Jason finds the solution to this problem. I lay on bed and just then, the door of my room opened. I already know who he is even before he talk. Xavier, you might want to get up for this. Full stop. Jason shouted. What is it? I inquired from him. So I went to the library and search about the pearl. So tell me, is this the pearl you saw? Jason showed me the front of the book in his hand. It is actually the same as the pearl I picked in the garden. Yes, it is the one. I nodded him. Well, in summary, the pearl is the key to open any sealed power being. And not only that, it can only be opened by a true mate. Full stop. Jason explained, and I look at him waiting for him to continue. So do you know what that means? You, my friend, is the one that awaked the evil goddess Amira and made the goddess island to reappear, and not only that, you are mated to the evil goddess Amira, Jason exclaimed. So now he has my full attention. Wait, what? That can't be possible. I refused to believe the news. I have waited so much for the day I will find my mate. I refused to believe that my other half is that evil goddess. It's as possible. That's what is written in the book, Jason responded. Well then, I am going to reject her, I shouted. That's where the problem comes in. Jason stated. What do you mean? Full stop. I asked. Well, it stated in the book that you can't reject her because you will die if you do so. And also, the more you stay away from her, the more sick you will become until you will die. You need to have a contact with her every day or you will die. Full stop. Jason explained. I refused to believe what Jason told me. I took the book and read it myself. I am fucked up. I can't believe this is happening to me. Why did the moon goddess chose to punish me like this? What are we going to do? Jason asked me. Nothing. There is nothing left for us to do. I sighed and sat on my bed. What do you mean there is nothing left for us to do? Do you know that we are talking about your life here? Do you know that you can die by tomorrow? Jason shouted. So what do you want me to do? You do know that her existence alone is a threat to all of us. There is nothing for me to do. I shouted back at him. The two of us shouting at each other will not solve anything. Why don't we go and meet your father? He will know what to do. Jason suggested, and I agreed with him. We went to my dad and explained the situation to him. Dad immediately told us to go and start the car, and we head for the Council of Elders camp. Leader Luca, we are sorry for disturbing you peace this evening. We have an urgent problem. My dad narrated what happened to the leader of the Council of Elders. Leader Luca immediately called for an urgent meeting, and at the end, they decided that they will let the goddess live before they find a solution on how to break the bond between us. I am sorry for this. You don't have to do it. Full stop. I apologize, feeling remorseful that because of me, the evil goddess will be left alive and a threat to the life of others. Nonsense. Do you think I am going to allow my godson to die? It's fine, before the month end. We will find a solution to save you. Full stop. Leader Luca said as he pat my back. Take this and put it on her wrist. It will prevent her from using her powers and she won't be able to remove it. Only the person who put it can remove it. The Council of Elders which pass me a bagel. A guard directed me to the dungeon where the goddess was kept. You can go in. The guard passed me the torch. I entered into the dungeon and found her in the inner part of the cell. She was sitting on the ground with her hands on her knees. Amira. Full stop. I called her and she flicked and shifted back as if she is afraid. Well, I didn't expect that from her. She is a goddess and the whole world is afraid of her, and she is looking as if she is afraid of people too. Hey, nobody is going to hurt you, I promise. I just need you to come out with me, okay? Full stop. I gently pleaded with her. She raised her head and looked at me, and I gave her a reassuring look. She slowly stood up and walked to me. I gave her my hand and immediately she led me. Currently pass into from her, and the fever immediately left her body. The contact shocked both of us, and she removed her hand from mine and kept looking between me and her hand. You feel that too, right? I asked her and she nodded her head. Good. At least I am not the only one affected. Let's go. Full stop. I said and led us out of the dungeon. Once we came out, I led us to the bench and we both sat down. Okay, here is the thing. The Council of Elders changed their mind about killing you, but on one condition. You must wear this bangle so that they will know that you have no intention of killing anyone, and you will have to stay with me. Agreed. Full stop. I explained to her and she nodded her head. I wonder why she refused to talk. She gave me her right hand and I placed the bangle on her hand. As soon as we went out of the prison section, everyone became on alert as if they are afraid her. Goddess Amira in return held onto my shirt and hide behind me as we walk. She act as if she is afraid of the people. Well, you won't have a problem with her, I think. She looks smitten by you, leader Lucas said as we reached him. After giving me instructions on what to do, I was allowed to go back home. Wow, you are even finer than they say you are, Jason exclaimed once we were inside the car. I rolled my eyes at him and ignored him. And you look so young. Let me then, is it true that you killed a whole pack all at once? Full stop. Jason asked her and she clinched. I punched him and gave him a glare. Leave her alone. Full stop. I ordered him. I don't want anything that will provoke her. We reach our house and I told the maids to prepare a room for me opposite my room. Well, Amira, this is your room. Mine is opposite to yours. Feel free to knock if you need anything. Good night, I said, and without waiting for her to reply, I went to my room. Chapter 13. I found myself standing in the midst of people crying and running up and down. There were some lying dead in the ground. The whole place seems to be on fire, and from afar, I saw a girl standing afar off. When I came closer to her, I realized that it was the goddess Amira. She was in tears and her eyes held self-hatred. I woke up immediately and wondered at the kind of dream I have. Why am I dreaming about this? Is it because of the mate bond or what? I then heard a shout coming from Amira's room. I got up and rushed to her room. The room was empty except for the sound of someone crying. Amira, I called as I searched for her. I entered into the bedroom and it is empty. I wonder where she is. I focus on the sound of the noise and realize that it is coming from the wardrobe. I opened it and found her sitting on the ground, bald in a corner of the wardrobe. Hey Amira, please come out. Nobody is going to hurt you. Full stop. I plead with her and after a while, she came out. She looks as though she is passing through a lot of pain and I couldn't help myself but to hug her. Immediately I hugged her. Images of my dream past flash in my head. I realize that I have earlier seen her dream. I don't know what is up, but it seems there is more to her than what is being told. After a while, she stopped crying. Are you okay now? Full stop. I asked and she nodded her head. What, don't you talk? Full stop. I curiously asked her. There is no place in the story told us that was mentioned that is dumb. She kept looking at me and so I pass her a notebook and a pen. I am forbidden from talking, she wrote. Maybe it's one of her punishment. Imagine being forbidden to talk. People like Jason can't survive a day. Is your real name Amira or? Full stop. I asked her and she wrote on her book pad and pass it to me. Yes, and please call M, ensure that N not the goddess. As you wish. Why did you come back after you ran away on the island? I can't help wonder. Because if she hasn't come back, I doubt if we would have captured her. Your voice. I remembered your voice. Full stop. She wrote and I look at her. It must have to do with my vision after I touched the pearl. Go to sleep now. We have a busy day tomorrow. Full stop. I told her and I stood up to go. She immediately held my hand and shook her head as she begs me not to go. Okay, I will stay until you sleep. Full stop. I said. She laid on the bed while I sat next to her wondering what is wrong with me. Why I am going soft in this girl. I am not supposed to hear. I am not supposed to be feeling sorry for her, after all she is a killer. Still in my thought. I didn't realize when I fell asleep next to her. I woke up by the sound of someone giggling and snapping pictures. I opened my eyes and found Jason hold a camera in his hand. I look at my surroundings and notice I am still in Amira's room. And next to me on the bed is Amira sleeping peacefully. I quickly shot up from the bed. I now understand why that idiot is giggling. Before he could say anything, I pulled him out of the room. Wow, I never knew you were a sharpshooter, Jason jested at me. I ignored him and walked into my room and the idiot followed me in. How was your first night with your mate? He asked but didn't answer him. Wow, because you finally have a mate. You are now ignoring me. Very good. I just hope you used precautions last night, although I don't mind being an uncle, Jason said looking at me. He knows that he is getting a reaction from me. Get out, I pick a pillow from my bed and stone him. I took a shower and changed into my training outfit. I went out and meet Jason already gone. That's good for him. I went out and meet the warriors already on the training ground. After training for 2 hours, I went back home. I stopped in the kitchen and picked a plate on food for Amira. She must be hungry. I entered into her without knocking and found her only with a towel wrap around her. I swallowed hard as I stand and look at her. She was also looking directly after me. The atmosphere in the room suddenly became very tense, and the tension is so thick that it can be cut with a knife. After a while of staring at each other, I cleared my throat. Food. I brought your breakfast. I dropped the food and turned to leave, but she waved at me. She went over to the notebook I gave her yesterday and wrote on a paper, "Sorry to disturb you. I don't have clothes to wear." "Oh, that. I will assign someone to get you some clothes," I said and left the room. Outside her door, I placed my hand on my chest as I tried to control my heartbeat. I took a cold shower and changed and went for my alpha duties. I assigned 2 of the maids to go and get clothes on behalf of Amira. In the midst of my alpha duties, I got a knock from my father. "Father, good afternoon." I greeted him and paused from what I am doing. "Good afternoon, son. How are you feeling?" He asked with concern. I know he is still concerned about the whole goddess Amira of a thing. "I am fine, father." I honestly ask, "How is she?" He asked, referring to the goddess. "She is calm, father." Surprisedly, "She looks like she means no harm," I said. I don't know how to say it, but by the tales told about her, I didn't accept her to be like this. Maybe we got the wrong person. That's good, but we don't know for how long she will be like this. "I am sorry this is happening to you, son. I promise you that a solution will be found soon enough." I can't lose you," my father lamented. I walked to him and hugged him. I know that ever since what happened to Mom, Dad had been afraid of losing me too. "Don't worry, Dad. Everything will be alright." I comforted him. And after a while, he calmed down. We feasted before he left. The maid I assigned to get the clothes is back, so I decided to take it up to her. The maids are afraid of approaching her, so I am the only one to attend to her according to the instructions of the leader Luca. As I approached her room, I heard the voice of someone talking. I frown. Late I remember she can't talk, or who is in there. Jason. That's idiot. I hurried into the room and I fist my hand at what I saw. Jason was talking to Amira, who is busy smiling at him, and the worst part is that she is still only in her towel. "Jason, get out." I snap at them. Jason quickly hurried out of the room while Amira shifted back as if she is afraid. "Here, this are for you." I threw the shopping back on the bed before I left her room. I entered my room and punched my fist into the wall. I don't understand why I feel so angry and jealous. I went to my bed and lay down, and after a while, the fever came back. I went out and took a deep breath and knocked after her door. After knocking for a while and didn't get a response, I entered into the room. I opened the door and entered. I found her sitting in a corner of the room. "Amira." I called and she came out but stood a few steps away from me, as if she is afraid to come close to me. And for some reason that hurts me. "Hey, I am sorry for snapping at you earlier on. I was stressed out. Do you want to take a walk with me?" I asked her, and she eagerly nodded her head. She must have been tired of being locked up in the room. I gave her my hand and immediately she held me. Current passed through us and the fever started to clear off. "Hold on tight," I told her as I held her tight and jumped off from the balcony. As much as I wanted to take her through the door, I don't want to cause a terror. Only a few people know about her being here. We landed safely on the ground and I led her to my personal garden. "This is my personal garden. No one comes here except me. Feel free, please," I told her, and she nodded her head. She kept looking around the garden with a smile on her face. I smiled when I saw her expression. "I want to take a walk. Will you be okay by yourself?" I asked her, and she nodded her head. "Don't run away. You will easily be caught." I warned her before I ran into the forest behind our palace. For some reason, I know that I can trust to not to run. I transformed into my wolf form and ran deeper into the forest. Chapter 14. Xavier. "Xavier, are you there?" Alfred, my gamma, called me through the mind link. "Yes, what is wrong?" I stopped and waited for his report. Rogues have attacked the pack." Alfred reported. "Where are you?" I asked. "There are at the southern and eastern part of the forest surrounding the pack." He reported. "Warriors, there is a rogue attack on the eastern and southern part of the pack. Be on alert and head there, I exclaimed. I rushed to the eastern part of the park and saw some of our pack warriors fighting with the rogues. I immediately joined the fight. I attack a rogue from behind and tear him apart. After fighting for about an hour, we were able to defeat them all. Luckily enough for us, we got their ringleader alive. It has been a long time since there have been a rogue attack on this pack. We shifted back to our human form and interrogate the ringleader. What do you want? Full stop. I asked the ringleader, who refused to talk but kept smirking. Alfred punched him in the stomach and he still refused to talk, bearing me the silver knife. Full stop. I ordered, and I saw fear in the eyes of the ringleader. Very good. Silver is one of the painful ways to harm a werewolf. They passed the silver knife to me and I placed into the blade of his shoulder. He cried out in pain as he beings to bled. Now are you going to talk or not? I asked him for the second time. He still refused to talk. I placed the knife on his neck and screamed louder. If you did talk, you won't be without a DK in the next 5 minutes. I threatened him and moved the knife to his pants. Wait, I am going to talk. They sent us to get the girl, he confessed as he kept on crying. Which girl? Alfred asked him. But even before he answered, deep down within me, I have already know who he is talking about. Amira. To think that I left her alone in the garden defenseless, with the bangle in her hand. There is naught she could do. She is just a normal girl. Keep interrogating him. Find out who sent him. I ordered the gamma and started running towards the palace. I mind-linked Jason, who is at the eastern side, to go to my personal garden. I shifted into my wolf and run into my garden. Unfortunately, the garden was empty. I shifted back to my human form and kept calling her name. Amira, Amira, full stop. But there is no answer. I found a piece of torn part of a cloth on the floor. It smelled like her. No one needs to tell me that she is captured. Hey Xavier, is everything alright? Jason asked me as soon as he entered into the garden. She is gone. I exclaimed. Who is gone? The goddess. She ran away. How? Jason asked. She didn't. The rogue attack was just a distraction so that they can take her. I answered him. Who are they? Jason asked, confusion. That's what we are about to find out. Full stop. I said and started to run towards the eastern part of the pack's forest. As soon as I reached, I took the knife and went directly to the rogue ringleader. Immediately I reached the place I left them. Alfred informed me that a group of students who were having a picnic in the plains of the pack were also kidnapped. You have one chance to tell me where she is or face the consequences. I vowed in a deadly voice. From my voice he must have known that I am not joking, and so he started to confess to me. Astra asked us to bring her. We don't know why. Astra, that troublemaker. Everyone knows about her. She is a half-wolf half-witch rogue who lives in the woods. Although she is old, she is known as a troublemaker. I have an idea that she may have want Amira for her powers or something, but I don't understand where the children comes in. Where does she live? Full stop. I asked. Deep in the woods. I can take you there, he offered. Very well then. If you decide to play any funny business on us, you won't survive it. I remind him and he nodded. I assigned some of the warriors to follow me, including Alfred. I left Jason to be in charge of the pack before we come back. We then head into the woods. I need to get her quickly before the Council of Elders notice something is wrong, or moreover, what if Astra does something to rekindle her powers? I will be in deep problem because I have already given my words to leader Luca that nothing will happen. And also, I need to recuse the kidnapped children before it cause an unrest in the pack. Chapter 15. Goddess Amira POV. Xavier left me in the garden to have a time of my own. I feel so happy to feel the fresh air. And then again, I am not so happy. I wonder what happened to my family. They must have all died, and it's because of me. I don't deserve to leave. It won't take a long time before the Lucian pack find out about my existence, and it will be history repeating itself again. Still lost in my thoughts. I didn't notice when someone approached me from behind until it was too late already. The person hit my head with something and I feel unconscious. When I woke up, I found myself in a dark room along with other children who were crying. I wonder who brought us here, and for what reason. I just hope it's not the Lucian pack. I doubt it is, because why will they kidnap other children too? Just then, The door opened and a hideous-looking old woman entered the room holding a lantern. Her appearance alone can make you afraid. Some of the children started wailing at the look of her. "Shut up," she shouted, and everywhere became quiet. She said some words and the whole room lightened up. She must be a witch then. She kept the lantern and walked to a table. "I am going to devour all of you. I need to restore back my beautiful and youthful again, and only the blood of the young can rejuvenate me. Full stop," the old witch said, as if she is planning to explain to us. She slowly walked to me and held my face in her hands. "You, my fair lady, will be my first step to immortality. Once I have your powers, I will no longer be afraid of the demons, and then I can go to any extreme to gain more powers," the old witch said and started to laugh. "This is the reason why I hate being alive. Everyone will start going after my powers. I wonder why Xavier is keeping me alive. Speaking of Xavier, he must have thought that I ran away. Now let me prepare the ritual," the old witch said, and went over to the table and opened a book. I don't know if she didn't notice the bangle in my hand. I doubt there is much she could do with it there. She might be able to get my powers, but not all of it. Just then, the door opened and an arrow shot directly across the room and nearly hit the old witch. She closed the book and quickly became on alert. "Who is there? Show yourself," she ordered. Xavier came out of the shadows and into the light of the room. A lot of the children started cheering when they saw their alpha. Xavier's eyes roamed the whole room until they settled on mine. I gave him a reassuring smile that I am fine. "Well, if isn't Alpha Xavier. Jay never knew you have the balls in you. You came just in time for the party," the old witch laughed, but Xavier didn't say a word. "Since you are here, I will start with you so that this pubs will know that no one is going to save them from me," the old witch stated. Just as she is about to start casting the spell, Xavier threw a knife while landed on her neck, and immediately, she started to burn. Just then, other men entered into the room and started to help the children outside. "Are you okay?" Xavier asked me. Full stop. I nodded him and he immediately gave me a veil to cover my face and picked me up. "Let's get you home," he whispered into my ears. Xavier's POV. Once we reached home, I took her to her room before I head to my father's quarters. I wanted to inform him of everything that happened today. Turns out that he had heard of it already. "I am so proud of you, son. I am sure your mom is proud of you too." Full stop. My dad said, "This is my second mission since I became an alpha, and it was also successful. Thank you, father. I learned from the best," I said and excused myself. I went to my room and immediately fall asleep because I was tired because of today's activities. Once I fell asleep, the dreams were back again. I found myself in the midst of people dying while Amira stood afar crying helplessly. I quickly woke up and rushed to her room. I found her in the same place as was the last time. Inside the wardrobe, I beckoned on her to come out and hugged her. I don't know what keeps attracting me to her, but deep down within me, I feel like there is a missing piece from her story. "Wear something warm. We are going out," I ordered her. I went to my room and picked a jacket. I mind-linked Jason that I will be gone for a little while. The place was still dark since it is not yet dawn. I chose the G-Wagon and told her to enter as I drive off. Chapter 16. After driving for about 2 hours, we came to clearance on top of the hill. I packed the car and told her to go out. "This is where I usually come to when I want to be on my own." Full stop. I explained to her and she nodded her head. "The place is quiet and peaceful. No one usually comes here. It's a gift given to me by my mom before she died. Come, let's go in," I said, and we head into the cabinet. I on the lights of the cabinet and led her to the lounge. "Rest. Let me make us something to eat." I left her alone and went into the kitchen to prepare something for us. When I was done cooking, I poured the food to the plate and went downstairs, but I didn't meet anyone there. "Amira," I asked, but I didn't get any response. As I glanced through the window, I saw her outside. I went out with the plates of food in my hand. I saw her playing with butterflies. She looks so carefree, as if she is not an element of destruction. I could not help but smile. I cleared my throat and got her attention. "Food." I raised the plate and sat of the grass. She came and sat next to me and started to eat her food. After we were done eating, we quietly sat down and enjoyed the serenity of the environment. "Let's go in." Full stop. I suggested when I noticed that the sun rising on us. We went into the cabinet. I went to the kitchen to drop the plates. So this is the reason why you have not been visiting us. Full stop. A voice said, making me to drop the plates on the floor. Luckily enough for me, the plates didn't break since the floor is made of wood. Grandma Cara, I exclaimed as I bent down and picked the plates. Grandma Cara is the sister to my maternal grandmother, and she and her family usually stay in this clearance. She helps take care of the cabinet for me. You scared me, I murmured as I dropped the plates. Really? Why didn't you inform me you were coming? I would have made your favorite dish. Grandma Cara said. Sorry Grandma. I didn't know I was coming until this morning. I honestly to her. I understand. So when were you going to tell me that you found our mate? She asked me. Well, it's a little bit complicated. I said. Complicated? Is that what you young ones call it these days? Anyway, what made it complicated? I am all ears. Grandma Cara said and gave me all her attention. I explained everything that happened in this last few AYs to her. Wow, it's definitely complicated. I can't believe that girl out there is the legendary evil goddess. She looks so young and harmless, Grandma Cara stated. I can't believe to Grandma. So what are you planning to do? She asked me. Well, Dad and the Council of Elders are working towards breaking the bonds before her punishment is served to her. I explained. Well, that is their plan. What is your plan? She asked again, making me speechless. I just want you to be happy, Xavier. Follow your heart and do what you want and not what others want for you. Full stop. Grandma Cara explained. I nod to her and we went to the lounge. We spent our whole day there and I happy to see Amira loss up with a smile on her face. Towards the evening time, we head back home. As soon as we alighted from the car, someone immediately jumped on me. Xavier, I missed you. I missed you too, Helen. Full stop. I wrapped my hands around her and hugged her back. After a while I let her go. Helen is Jason's cousin. We have been friends since we were kids. When did you arrive? I asked her as I let go of her. Just now. I wanted to make it to your coronation but I missed it because I was busy rounding up school. Full stop. She explained and I nodded her. I looked over her head and saw Amira looking at us. For some unknown reason, I felt guilty and so I gave a little more distance to Helen. Xavier, do you remember that you promised to take me out when next I visit your pack? Well, today is the day, Helen said. I could not remember making the promise but knowing Helen, if I didn't agree, she is going to make a scene and we won't want that. Her dad is the powerful alpha of our neighboring pack and we don't want to offend him. Okay, let me escort her to her room. Wait for me here, I said, and Helen turned and looked at Amira for the first time. Is she not the legendary evil goddess who killed her whole pack in a single day? Why are you hanging out with her? She should be in the dungeon. We don't know how dangerous she is after all. She has demon bloods in her body. Helen said, looking directly at Amira, who looks shaken at her words. That's enough, Helen. I snap at her. Her words make me so angry. Helen looks at me in disbelief as if she didn't believe I just yelled at her. I am sorry, I don't mean to yell at you. I don't want you to provoke her. The Council of Elders forbid that. I managed to make an excuse for my behavior. Hey Xavier, why don't you go with Helen? I will accompany Amira to her room, Jason, whom I didn't notice when he came, said. As much as I wanted to disagree, I know that I will make myself suspicious if I don't. And so against my wish, I nod my head. Princess, let's go, Jason said to Amira. Bad. She followed him. I clenched my hand as I watched them walk side by side. Chapter 17. Goddess Amira POV. Today is the happiest day of my life. I never knew that I can live to experience so much love and happiness. I enjoyed every moment I spent with Xavier and Grandma Cara in the clearance, but just like in fairy tales, nothing good is meant to last this long. As we came back, a girl came from nowhere and threw herself at Xavier. To my shock, Xavier hugged her back. I could explain the burning in my chest as I look at them. Right now I am walking to my room with Jason by my side. Don't worry too much, princess, he is yours to keep. Jason, who is walking by my side, said. I look at him with questioned eyes. Oh, don't look at me like that. I know that you love him already, Jason said. I refused to look at him and kept walking. Once we reached my room, I told him to wait. I wrote something on a sheet of paper and pass it to him along with my necklace. Before he could say anything, I closed the door on his face. I sat on the bed and kept thinking of the moment Xavier hugged that girl alone. God knows what they may be doing right now. I heard the door open, but I didn't raise my head up, thinking it is Jason. Goddess, I deep voice called, and I raised my head to see Xavier's father. I quickly got up from the bed. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you, he said, and I waved at him to show him that it's okay. Okay, I don't want to tell you one thing, please. Xavier is the only thing I have since his mother died. I can't afford to lose him too. I hope you understand, Xavier's father said. I nod my head because I clearly understood what he means. Good. Have a nice day, goddess, he said, and left the room. Immediately he went out. I burst into tears. I don't know what I ever did to deserve this kind of life. I didn't ask to be born this way. I lay on my bed and kept crying until I fall asleep. Xavier's POV. I place my hand on my head as I massage it. Headache was already disturbing me. I was tired of Helen's ranting. She has refused to keep quiet since we came here. I can't help but wonder what Amira might be doing right now. Please let her not still be with Jason. Talking about Jason, I need to warn him to stay away from her. I don't know what his intention is by being close to her and even calling her princess. Xavier, are you listening to me? Helen asked, and I nod my head. Xavier, I wish to see you now. My father mind linked me. I am so happy that I will finally get away from Helen. My dad urgently needs my presence. We will continue the hangout later. And before she could say anything, I fled. Dad, you called for me, I said as soon as I entered my dad's office. Yes, Sim. I heard you went out alone with that girl. Is it true? He asked, and I swallow hard. Yes, Dad. I started to stay, but he cut me off. But what? Are you smitten by her pretty face now? Did you forget who she is? Better still yourself from getting attached to her, because by the end of the month she will be gone. You will have a chance to choose a mate of your own, my father stated. We are now in the modern day world where you get chose your mate by yourself, so as long as you don't like your fated mate. What a generation. I know. Okay, father, I said. I know that any explanation I will give him now is pointless. He demised me. I went to Amira's room and checked on her. She was sleeping already, and so I went to my room and slept off. Xavier's dad POV. I sighed as I watch my son go out of my office. He doesn't understand what he is getting into. I don't want his to get too attached to that evil girl and gets hurt at the end. I made a prayer to the moon goddess to provide us with a solution really quickly. Chapter 18. Helen's POV. I was beyond furious when I saw the girl. I was expecting her to be ugly or old, but she turns out to be very beautiful with an innocent look. But I am not going to allow her to win Xavier's heart over to her. Xavier is mine. I am the one that is going to be his Luna, and not some half-wolf, half-demon goddess. From what I saw, Xavier is already attracted to her, and my idiot of a cousin Jason don't believe that she is evil, so I am going to make them all remember who is truly is the legendary evil goddess. I smiled to myself as I thought of my plans. Tomorrow is going to be a conqueror's day for me. Goddess Amira POV. I woke up with the sound of someone knocking at the door. I opened the door and saw Helen standing there. I looked at her, wondering why she is standing outside of my door. Xavier asked me to get you, she said. Although I didn't believe her, I still followed her out. We kept walking until we reached Xavier's personal garden. I looked around but did not see any sign of Xavier anywhere. I turned to look at her, and to my surprise she had a knife in her hand. What is she going to do? I wondered. I hope she is not planning on hurting me. She cut her face with the knife before she hid the knife and begged. I realized what is happening. She ran into the house shouting, "Help! Help! She wants to kill me." She kept shouting, "Who wants to kill her?" It was then I realized what is actually happening. She harmed herself and is planning on framing me for it. I ran after her, but it was too late. She has already attracted the attention of people in the palace, including Xavier's father. She did this to me. Helen lied, pointing at me as she cried on. I tried to shake my head, telling them I am not the one, but the looks on their faces, I know that all of them have believed her. "You evil being. I gave you a roof to stay, and this is what you pay us with." Xavier's father roared. Tears were already falling from my eyes, but nobody is paying attention to me. What is going on here? A new voice asked Xavier. For some reason I felt a relief that he is here. "Oh Xavier, look at what she did to me." Helen rushed to him crying, "Are you sure? She had been very harmless this last few days she stayed with us. What happened?" Xavier asked the crying Helen. "I saw her in your garden and I followed her in there hoping that we could be friends, but she attacked me out of nowhere." Helen narrated, "She surely deserve an acting award because there is nowhere you could think that she is lying. Are you sure you didn't say anything to trigger her?" Xavier started to sigh before she was cut off by his father. "Xavier, that is enough. I won't stand here and watch you make excuses for this evil girl. Guards, take her to the prison. I will make a phone call to the Council of Elders to come and get her," Xavier's father declared, "and 2 guards came and dragged me away. I didn't mean." The smile on Helen's face as they dragged me out. Helen's POV. "I smiled as I watched the guards drag her away. I didn't expect it to be that easy. I was hoping I needed more act before I take her out of the picture, but luck is in my side." "Are you sure you didn't say anything to trigger her?" Xavier asked me for the 100th time. "I am being to feel annoyed. I know that she is a fine face and all, but that does not mean he should be smitten this much by her." "Yes, I didn't say anything to trigger her. Could you please stop talking about her? I have a headache," I said, annoyed. "Sorry," he said, and left the room. My cousin kept looking at me with strange eyes as if he didn't believe me, but who cares, she is halfway gone already. "Why are you looking at me, Jason?" I finally asked him, because I can't take the looks anymore. "One day your wrongdoings will bite you." Jason shook his head and left the room. Chapter 19. Jason's POV. I shook my head and went out of the presence of my cousin, because if I stay there for any more minute I will strangle her. Helen is my cousin and I know that. Is she lying? She obviously likes Xavier and she is threatened by Amira's presence. I don't know what happened in the garden, but I know she is lying. I want to ask Xavier to interrogate her, but I know he won't. Not, he could never go against his father. Poor Amira, I wonder how is feeling now. She must have really been hurt. She had been misunderstood all through her life. I personally never believe all the stories that were told about her, and now that I have met her I know that all the stories told about her are lies. She is taking the blame for someone else's crime. The big problem is that I don't know who. I just hope that she gets a happy ending at the end, and as for Helen, I will make sure that her dream of becoming Xavier's Luna never come to pass. Xavier's father POV. I had enough of this girl in my pack. It is time for her to go. Luckily enough for me, the Council of Elders have found a solution on how to break the bond between her and Xavier without it affecting him. I held the red string of date in my hand as I make my way to the prison. I opened the door to the cell and found her sitting on the ground. She immediately got up when she saw me. "Have you ever wondered why you were not killed as earlier declared, and why you were allowed to stay with Xavier all the time? That's because Xavier is the one who opened your seal and woke up, and by that he became bonded to you. But now the Council of Fees have found a solution on how to break the bond between both of you without anything happening to him. Please spare the live of my son. He is the only one I have got," I explained to her, and kept the red string of fate and a lighter beside her. Without looking back I left the prison cell. Amira's POV. I now understood why Xavier was acting so nice to me. It's because he has no choice. I feel so bad for him that he is struck with me. I took the red string of fate in my hand and immediately know what to do. I on the lighter and light the string. I silently cried as I watch it burn away. It's finally over. Xavier is free from the burden of being with me. The next day the door opened and 2 guards pulled me out. I wonder where they are taking me now. I was in shock when I saw the armor cars waiting outside. In each of the car is written the Lucian pack. I can't believe this is real. I opened and closed my eyes, but the cars were still here. This is not a dream. They have finally come for me. I overhear them tell Xavier's father that they are taking me back to their pack to punish them for my sins. What sins? I wanted to scream, but I couldn't. Not they are the reason why this happened at the first place. Come on, we make sure that things is planned this time around, the Gamma of the Lucian pack said as they push me into the car. Well, this is the end of it. They have finally got me where they wanted me. I don't think anything will stop them from getting what they want. My powers. That's what they have been always wanted. Xavier's POV. I saw myself back in the cave where all this started, but this time around Amira was sitting and not planning on disappearing. I saw her hold a red string in her hand, and before I knew what is happening she lighted on fire. "No!" I shouted and woke up. I was still trying to understand the dream when Jason bust into my room. Hurry up, Xavier, the Lucian pack are here. They are taking Amira away, Xavier breathlessly said. Without waiting for him, I quickly rushed out and saw their cars leaving already. I forbid you from going after them, my dad said. Why? I asked him. Because it's the right thing to do. She offended them in the past and it's time for her to be punished, my dad declared. What about the bond between us? Don't you care if I die? I asked, hoping this will be enough excuse for him to allow me to follow after them. That's not a problem anymore. The Council of Elders have found a red string that is used to cut off the bond between you both. You are now free, my dad explained. I now understand the meaning of my dream yesterday. She have broken the bond between us. I feel my heart hurting. Without talking to anyone, I went straight to my personal garden and lay on the ground. She wanted you to have this. Jason passed me a wrap paper before he left. I sat up straight and opened the wrap paper and a necklace fell in the ground. I unfolded the paper to read what is written on it. Dear Xavier, I want to thank you for showing me what true happiness really means. I know that I won't be with you for a long time, and so I wanted you to have my necklace, something you will remember me with. Once again, thank you for everything. I wish you the best of luck in life. Yours, legendary evil goddess, Amira. I don't know that I was crying until tears poured out of my eyes. I took her necklace and put it around my neck. I did not know when she came to mean so much to me like this. My wolf is also hurting. We have become attached to her already. I quickly transformed into my wolf form and ran into the forest. Helen's POV. I was beyond happy when I heard the good news. Finally, that evil girl is gone. I can finally have Xavier to myself. I smiled to myself as I dance around my room. Chapter 20. Xavier's POV. It has been over a week since they took Amira away. Yesterday we received a report that she has already been killed. Honestly, I don't know how to even feel. The fever is gone and I still thinking about her. You love her, don't you? I raised my head and glared at Jason. Love? How can I love someone that I have known for just a week? You must be delusional. I spat at Jason, who just smiled at me. Whatever makes you sleep at night, he said, and left me with my thoughts. Just because I have a soft spot for her, that does not mean that I like her. Xavier. I look ahead to see Helen coming to me with an ugly smile on her. Xavier, I didn't know you were here. Jay have been looking all over for you, she declared, but I kept quiet. Why have you been ignoring me? Did I offend you? Helen asked with tears in her eyes. If it was before, I would have been moved by her tears, but now I found everything about her annoying. What do you want? I asked her with a sharp voice. She seems shocked of how I am talking about her. Good. It's time to set some things straight. Why are you talking to me this way? Have that evil girl brainwash you? She asked. I stood up and walked towards her. Don't you ever talk about her again, and watch how you talk to me. I am an alpha and I can't have you come into my territory and talk to me the way you like. Xavier, what has happened to you? She asked. It's Alpha Xavier to you, and don't dare show yourself in my presence until you are summoned. Now run along. Helen wanted to say something but decided against it. When she saw the look on my face, she turned and left. Jason's POV. Xavier has been so moody ever since Amira was taken away. He still refused to admit that he has feelings for her. I wanted to go back and check for him, and then I saw Helen running. I waved my hand at her, stopping her from running. What's eating you up? I asked her. It's all your fault and that evil demon. Helen glared at me. Wait, what did I do? I asked, even though I already knew what she meant. Xavier just said that he don't want to see me again. She cried out. Well, it's about time you stop forcing yourself on him. Let him be, I advised Helen, who kept shaking her head. No, why should I? I am supposed to be his Luna. She ranted out. Says who? Did he tell you that himself, or did you just assume? Now you listen, stay away from him or I will reveal your secret to him. I threatened her. What secret? I don't have any secret to hide from Xavier, Helen said, keeping a brave face, although I noticed fear in her eyes. Oh please, I know that Amira wasn't the one who injured you. I know that you intentionally injured yourself and frame her. Imagine how Xavier will react if he heard this piece of information. I look at her. Helen glared at me and acted as if she wants to say something before she let out a scream and ran towards the gate of the palace. Xavier's POV. I am currently in the presence on my father. A letter was spent concerning the annual Alpha gathering. This year's own will be hosted by the Lucian Pack. Just great. So I hope you will go and represent us well, and please don't hold against them what happened this year, my father advised. Yes father. Okay then go and get ready. I bowed before I left. Although the night I got ready for my journey, early the next morning I quickly got ready for my journey to the Lucian Pack. The Lucian Pack is one of the most ruthless werewolf pack. Their ancestors were among the first to start forming pack. That's why they are still very strong up till date. I wonder why the Council of Elders chose to host the annual gathering at their pack. After driving for about 5 hours I finally arrive at the Lucian Pack. Greetings. I greeted the guards at the gate and gave them my pass. I drove into the pack and followed the map, the program it to be held in their palace. As I drove by I could not help but look at the condition of the pack members. They were not living in luxury, and that is a surprise seeing how rich their pack is. Just across the river is the gigantic Alpha's palace. It was made purely out of gold. I can't believe an Alpha can live in such house whereas his members live in wooden buildings, but that is not my business at all. I parked my car and went to meet the others. Luckily enough for me, my other Alpha friends were here already. I got to share a room with Alpha Matthew. That the heavens, that is not Asher, because I don't think I can handle his noise. We all went to our room and settled. We were giving the guest house to stay in. The rooms were a bit furnished with 2 queen-size bed, a single table, a long mirror wall and a toilet. Evening time came and it was time for the welcoming ceremony. The main problem is going to start tomorrow. We went to the hall where we are all except to assemble. Welcome to the annual Alphas gathering. We are happy to be the host of this. Let me start my introducing myself. My name is Nida, the daughter of Alpha Hux. The girl on the stage introduced trust Alphas to use an opportunity like this to show off their daughters. I wonder where her brother is. We attended the Alphas Academy together with her brother Eric. We never got along with him even once. He is always arrogant, feeling as if he is better than the others. I never tolerate his behaviors and always put him in his place, and that always cause fight between us two. My father can't make it today but will join us tomorrow. Meanwhile enjoy the presentation and the food of course. Nida giggled and got off the stage. Different form of presentation were done before we went for dinner. I am actually impressed with their reception. They surely do know how to welcome guests. After eating we retire for the night. I was feeling a bit of headache and so I informed my roommate that I will be taking a walk to clear of my head. I went out of the room into the garden to have a cool fresh air. After a while I saw Nida and an unrecognized man discreetly walking past the garden. I decided to follow after them, and to my surprise they entered into a secret door on the wall. It doesn't even look like a door because it is painted as thought. It's just part of the wall decorations. I waited for some minutes and with finger crossed I followed them into the door. The door leads to a hallway. I went down the hallway and noticed that they both stopped over a body lying on a table. I hid behind one of the pillars and heard their conversation. Wow, she is so beautiful. I can't wait to have her, the man said as he roamed his hands over her body. Nida immediately slapped the man's hand from the body, which I guess is a girl. Keep your hands to yourself or I will cut it off, Nida threatened the man. Oh sister, you are so mean. Dad said I can have fun with her, the man stated. Dad, sister, I guess the man is Eric. Of course I am not surprised of such behaviors from him. He has always been a womanizer. Well, not will. She is under my watch. Now that we have check on her, let's go, and don't even think of coming back for her. I will chip your hands off. Nida dragged her brother out of the secret place. Since I am hiding behind a pillar they didn't see me at all. When I made sure that they were gone I came out of my hiding place and walked to the body. I am curious to know who is. I received the shock of my life. Lying on the table is no other person but Amira. What? I thought they said they killed her. Why is she lying here? Then I placed my head on her chest and felt her heart breathing. That means she is still alive. Why did the Lucians lie about killing her then? And more importantly, why is she kept here in such condition? What could they possibly want from her? Without much thought I bent to pick her up when I felt a cold metal blade on my neck. You might want to drop her. I turned to see Nida holding a sword in her hand. I don't mean any harm. I raise my hands up in surrender. I could fight her if I want, but that will draw unnecessary attention to us. I know. I saw you the moment you followed us down here, but I decided to keep quiet, Nida said as she lowers her blade. Okay, why do you guys lie about killing her? Why are you keeping her like this? What do you want from her? I asked her all at a go. Easy with all your questions. First of all, my father announced that she is dead to keep the elder off from asking him about her. Secondly, it is her powers that my father need, and lastly, I don't actually know what they want exactly they want from her. They won't tell me of their plans, Nida stated. So are you in support of all this? I asked. No, but that does not mean there is anything I can do about it, Nida said. Will you help me escape with her? I hopefully asked her. I am not sure about that. It's a suicide mission, but I will think about it, Nida exclaimed. Okay, I am grateful, and please make your brother keep his hands to himself, I ordered with my hand clenched when I remembered how Eric roamed his hands over her earlier on. Can't promise you that, but I will try my best. I was wondering where you come in, but now I know, Nida smirked. Where? I asked her. A lover, or am I wrong? Nida asked, but instead of answering her I turned and went to my room. All through the night I stayed awake thinking of possible ways to take Amira out of here before more harm is done to her. Chapter 21. The next day I wake up feeling distress about the whole pack. Now that I know the bad side of this pack, I don't held them with high esteem as I usually do. We started the training and 2 alphas are to fight each other in their wolf form. The first person to push the other to lay on the ground is the winner. I look angry at Eric, who is standing proudly with his shoulders upright. I challenge him TK a fight, but he laughed it off, saying that he is going to defeat me in no time. We engage in the fight, and within 30 minutes I had him lying on the ground. That's as a payback for harassing Amira yesterday. Eric embarrassingly shifted back while my friends cheered for me. We were informed that Alpha Hux will address us during dinner time. As we were eating during the dinner time, Alpha Hux appeared into the dining room. I closed my eyes and opened it just to make sure I am not daydreaming. Beside him is no other person but Amira. I look around the dining hall, but everyone kept eating as if their presence is not there. What is this? I am the only one seeing them. Hey Xavier, are you okay? Xander asked me. Yes, why? I asked him. Well, you keep at the empty spot in front of the dining room, Xander said, confirming my suspicions. I turn back and face my food so that I won't give myself away. Tell them to stand up, Alpha Hux commanded Amira. She walked to the center of the room. Stand up, she commanded. Her voice echoed in the whole room. Since when did she know how to talk? Everyone in the room immediately drop whatsoever that is in their hand and stop up like robots. Luckily enough for me, I was fast enough to stand up. If not, I will be noticed. I wonder why her voice is not affecting me. Excellent. Bravo. Impressive. This way I can rule the whole wolf kingdom and even beyond. Alpha Hux laughed. So this is his plans all along. Tell them to go to their rooms, Alpha Hux commanded Amira once again. Everyone started going out of the hall. As much I didn't want to leave Amira here with this insane man, I had no choice than to march out of the dining room. Even if it cost me my life, I am going to get her out of this place, I vowed. I waited for an hour after going to my room. Before I came out, I meet Nida standing in front of my room. Good, I was coming to you. You need get her out of her now or you won't be able to save again, Nida said and started to lead us to the direction of the main building. Wait, why are we going into the main building? I could not help but ask. That's because she is presently in my father's room, Nida said, and I clench my hand. Someone is going to die today. We reach in her brother's room, and when we entered into the room, I saw Amira lying down on his bed as he tries to remove her clothes. I saw red and immediately started to hit him until he is unconscious, but I kept on hitting him. Xavier, stop. There is no time for this now. You need to get her away from here. Nida pulled me off her brother. I gave him a last punch before I picked Amira in my hands. How am I going to get past the guards? I asked her. I have taken care of that already. Don't go with your car, but rather run towards the forest or you will easily be catch. Nida instructed, and immediately someone started to shout about a fur outbreak. I look at Nida and confirmed that it was indeed her handwork. I can believe she will set her father's on fire for my sake. Thank you so much. I will forever be grateful. One day you will make a great alpha. I thank Nida and run towards the forest with Amira in my hand. Since everyone were concerned about the fire, I was able to get out of the pack without getting any attention drawn to me. I kept running even I am tired until I was miles away from the Lucian pack. I decided to rest for the night. Luckily enough for me, I found a small hut house in the forest. Nobody is inside, so I decided stay there for the night. I paid Amira on the mat. While I lay on the floor, I imagine the look on Alpha Huck's face when he realized that Amira is gone. Whatever he plans to do, I am ready to face him. The last day I woke up with a soft face on my cheek. I opened my eyes and see Amira seizing my cheek. "Hey, you are awake." I smiled at her. Immediately she noticed that I am awake. She ran out of the hut. I followed after her. "Hey Amira, wait up," I called, but she kept running. Thanks to my alpha strength, I was able to overshadow her and stop her. "Why are you running away?" "It's me, Xavier," I breathlessly said. "I know it you," she cried out. "Then why are you running away?" I asked, and she looked at me. "Wait, you can hear my voice." "How comes?" she asked. "I don't know, but yes, I can hear you. I thought you could not talk." I asked her back. "I never said I can't talk. My voice is very powerful and control beings when I speak out, and so the moon goddess restrict me from talking except to my family members because it doesn't affect them," Amira explained. "Well, that means I am family then, since your voice don't affect me." I smile at her, and to my surprise she bearing to cry. I gather her in my arms and comforted her. After a while she calmed down and bearing to narrate what really happened many years ago to me. "I belong to the Selena pack, which are the direct descendant of the mood goddess. Our pack members were gifting with healing powers. Many pack come to us for healing and help. The Lucian pack were one of our allies who are frequent in their visit to our pack, but at times go on they became greedy and wanted our powers for themselves. When they searched for ways to get the powers for themselves and didn't get it, they somehow heard of me, the half-demon half-wolf girl. They wanted my powers even if it's just my voice. They tired to pay our alpha to sell me off to them, but when things didn't go as they planned, they decided to use violence to attack our pack. That is when the war broke out. I didn't understand what really happened. All I can remember is people dying and the whole pack on fire." Amira narrated her own point of view. "I can't believe the whole story has been told the other way round." "Wow, that is definitely not what we were told," I said. "Not every tale is always true. What are you doing in the Lucian pack?" She asked me. I told her about how I came for the annual alpha gathering. "I am so sorry you are now gone because of me. What if they are looking for you?" She asked me. I have thought of it, but I didn't care as long as she is saved. "It's fine. How is Alpha Hux able to control you?" I can't help but ask her. "Well, he has been working with the Black Witches on how to control beings," she explained. "Don't worry, they are not going to get you again. I will make sure of that," I assured her. "Why are doing this? Why are you risking your life for me? Is it because of the mate bond?" "You don't have to worry, it is broken already," Amira murmured. "Why didn't I show you why I am doing this?" I said and moved closer to her. "What do you?" she started to say, but I cut her off with my lips. I nibbled her lower lips with mine. At first she didn't kiss me back, but she recovered and started to kiss me, and a while I let go because I was out of breath already. "I missed you. This past few days without you have been hell for me," I whispered into her ears, and she hugged me before she immediately let go of me as if she remembers something. "What about Helen?" she asked me. "What about her?" I look at her confused. "Don't you love her?" She looked at me. "What?" I exclaimed. "Helen and I can never be a couple. I wonder what gave her an impression that we are one." "What did you think that?" I asked her. "Well, you seems to be close," she murmured. "Jealous are we?" "Well, it wasn't Helen I was kissing a few minutes ago." I smirked at her and she started blushing. Just then an arrow was shot to the tree beside us. I guess the Lucian pack warriors have caught up with us. I know what the arrows means. They want me to hand over Amira to them or face the consequences. To hell with them. I grabbed Amira's hand and started running into the forest. I immediately shifted into my wolf and told her to climb on my back and kept running. That gave the warriors my answer and they started to follow us. They were still throwing arrows at us, which I luckily dodged, while some of them shifted into their wolf form and run after us. 2 of their arrows were able to hit me, but I kept on running. Soon we were surrounded by them from all angles. "Well, this is it, the day I will die. Hand her over and we will not kill you," the Gamma of the Lucian pack said. I ignored him and kept looking around for an opening to escape with Amira, who is still on my back. Out of nowhere came flying arrows and kills all the Lucian pack warriors that surround us. I look around, boo, I didn't see anyone, so I quickly shifted back to my human form and kept Amira at my back as I kept circling around to see who threw the arrows. Out of nowhere a hooded figure appeared in our I don't think is a wolf because I can't place the being sent. Before I could ask a question, the hooded figure pulled down the hood and to my surprise it's a fair lady, her hair to us white just like Amira's own. "Why did she help us?" Guardian Isa. Amira happily exclaimed, well, I guess she is someone related to Amira then. Chapter 22. Amira, how are you, little girl? The strange lady asked. I am fine, Guardian Amira, I missed you. Amira happily chanted. I missed you too. Who is this handsome guy with? The lady winked at Amira, who started to blush. He is mine, she started to say, but keep quiet. I can't blame her, though we don't have a label yet. I am her boyfriend, I introduced, and Amira blushed harder. Capital O. Nice to meet you, Mr. Boyfriend, she commented. Nice to meet you too, Miss Isa, guardian of the Serena Pack. She introduced herself. Why are you here? Amira asked her. A little bird told that you are in trouble. I can't allow my favorite student to die. Thank you for your help. Amira appreciated. No need, now follow me. I know just the best place for you to be safe. Guardian Isa insisted. I look at her. I don't know if it's wise to follow her or not. Thinking about changing your mind, Alpha Xavier. I will never bring any harm to Amira, Guardian Isa imputed when she saw the look on my face. Xavier is okay to trust her. Amira squeezed my hand to assure me that it okay to trust her. I nodded her, but I still stayed on the alert in case anything goes wrong. We started to walk through the direction she is leading us to. I thought you are going to introduce each other as mates. Guardian Isa raised her brows. We are no longer mate, Amira sadly declared. What? How? Guardian Amira asked. Amira narrated the whole burning of the red string of fate to her. While I am sure that is not true, the only thing that can break a soulmate bond is dead, Guardian Amira stated. If that is true, then why is it that I don't longer have fever after she burnt the red string of fate? I questioned her. Well, did she by chance leave anything of hers with you? The Guardian asked me. Yes, her necklace, I answered. That's why you did experience the fever, she answered, and we kept on walking. We soon reached a river where there is a boat tied to the deck. We entered the boat and started the row. The deeper we rowed, the more we were covered with thick clouds. Is it safe for us to row in such weather? I asked. Well, that is the only way home, Isa answered. After a while we reached the end of the river and came out before us is a thick bush. I started to wonder if following her was truly a good idea. Surprisingly, behind the bush is a fortified city with 2 big iron gates. Isa inserted a card near the door and it opened. We walk out past the gate into the city. The buildings were painted with blue. They look as if they are made up glass, but I am not quite sure if it's glass because it's opaque. Nowhere, Amira exclaimed as she looked around the city with tears gather in her eyes. Yes way, Isa laughed. But how? I don't want everyone was destroyed in the war. Amira cried. Okay, so I am confused at what is happening here. Well, a good number of us managed to survive, but the pack was destroyed, so we decided to change location to another place where is safe and unknown to others, Isa explained to Amira, who nodded her head in understanding. I am so glad it turned out like this. Amira smiled with tears still in her eyes. I have one more surprises for you. Follow me, Isa said and started to walk deeper into the city. Are you okay? Amira pushed from walking and asked me. I didn't realize that I have stopped walking at all. I am fine. I held her hand and we followed after Isa. As we walked by, people were giving us strange looks. I don't blame them. By our dressing you will surely know that we are strangers. Isa stopped in front of a house and knocked at the door. After a minute, an elderly woman who should be in her late 30s opened the door. Guardian Isa, greetings, how may I help you? The woman asked. Greetings to you too, and I have a surprise for you, Isa said and shifted from the door to make us visible. No way, is this who I am thinking? Amira. The woman came out of the house. It's me, Anne, Amira said and threw herself on the woman. They both embraced each other and began to cry. This is a family reunion. Then Isa signaled to me and walked away. Oh, I miss you. The woman pecked Amira on her forehead. I miss you too. Look at you, you have grown into a woman and I am still a child, Amira murmured. Luckily you, adulthood is not funny. Who is this young handsome man at your back? Her sister looked at my direction. Oh, this is Xavier, and Xavier, this is my sister Anne. Amira introduced us. Nice to meet you, ma'am, I greeted her. Wait, he can hear your voice, she asked surprised. Yes, he is my mate, Amira blushed. Capital O. You got yourself a handsome alpha, you lucky BCH, her sister hailed. Anyway, please come and narrate the story of how you found yourself here, Amira's sister said and led us into her house. For the next 2 hours we sat and Amira narrated everything that happened in the last few weeks to her sister. That evil pack are still on it. They will soon experience the taste of their medicine, her sister declared. In the evening her husband and son came back and she introduced us to them. They permitted us to stay with them for as long as they want. It has been over a week since we came to the Selena pack. Everything here has been going on very peaceful. How I wish we could stay like this forever, Amira said as she smuggled into my chest. I wish too, I answered her. The door of the room opened and we gave space between each other. Sorry to interrupt you, but some people are here to you, Anne's husband announced. Chapter 23. We followed in out of the house and to my surprise it's my alpha friends Asher, Matthew and Xander. What are they doing here? Guys, what are you doing here? I can't help but ask them. You bastard. So you went missing for 2 weeks just because a girl, Xander said. Speaking about the girl, isn't this the goddess? I thought she is dead. Why are you guys together? Asher asked. I narrated to them everything that happened, from the dreams I had to how I rescue her from the Lucian pack. I knew that those Lucian pack are up to no good. When we questioned them about your whereabouts, they gave a suspicious reply. At first we thought that Eric might have harmed you since you won him in the fight before, but we overheard them talking about you escaping with someone. We decided to take matters into your own hand and look for you. Here we are. Asher explained how they found themselves here, how that their evil ways are known. We will expose them, Xander said. Just then a trumpet sound from all the corners of the city. What is happening? We all asked at once. The pack is under attack. Seems like the Lucian pack are paying us a visit. Prepare to fight. We won't allow them destroy our home for the second time, Anne's husband said, and went to assemble warriors since he is the pack's gamma. I turned to Amira, who is now shaking in fear. Listen, nothing is going to happen to you. I promise. I want you to go and hide. Don't come out no matter what happens. I love you, I said to her and pecked her forehead. She started to cry already. I wiped her tears and gave her a push. She ran back into the house. I followed the men to the gate to join in the war. The Lucian warriors were here, including their alpha. We quickly shifted into our wolf form and started to fight. Along the fight I was ambushed and I felt something pierce into my fur. Wolf bane. It was too much for my wolf to handle, and so I shifted back to my human form. This must be the plan of the Lucian pack, because their alpha quickly garbed me and placed a silver knife on my neck. Those fighting paused because they were afraid that he might hurt me. Little Amir